All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Serious Angler podcast, powered by our friends over at X2 Power Batteries. We're back after a minus fantasy fishing. Yeah, 2-week hiatus. We're back with the captain, Mr. Andy Full, and as always, I'm your host, Bailey Egbrett. So I guess, first thing we should start off with is sorry for the 2 weeks of no pods. I mean, you guys had fantasy fishing, but beyond that, I've been AWOL.
Kind of had fantasy fishing. We tried to hold down the fort. So
people were missing. StreamYard decided to derail, which if you guys don't know, StreamYard is how we go live on this thing and film these shows. And they decided we're going to screw up all of the places that you try to go live on, and technology being technology. And at this rate, we'll just blame Microsoft or something like that.
Yeah, Google.
People are doing now.
Nobody cares about Microsoft anymore. Just blame Google.
Yeah, we're just going to keep racking on the Microsoft train, though. They screwed everything up, and they just continue to screw up. So we'll blame it on that.
The airport debacle after ICAST, yes.
Dude.
The Black Friday.
Talk about that?
We never talked about it because you've been gone.
Yeah, this is the worst time of year for me because it's just go. Like work trips, ICAST, everything. But the show must go on. And so we got a bunch to cross off here, guys. But we do have an awesome show tonight. I'm really excited to get on a really good friend of ours, one of my favorite people in the industry, Mr. Keith Carson. We're going to talk about his dub. And then, of course,
he's the master of shallow and deep now.
I know. Maybe he might be running a fiberglass on us next year. We'll see what he's going to do. Yeah. Well, we can rag on him for now, but we'll get him on the show, and then we'll dive into all of it. But always love getting Keith on here. And later on the show, we got Mr. Alex Rudd joining us as well. We're going to have some fish it, box it, trash it. We haven't done that in a minute. So we're going to do a little game segment. We might have surprise guests. We don't know. We were supposed to have Caleb Bell on. Unfortunately, Caleb forgot he was supposed to be at a wedding tonight.
Oh, jeez. Nah, tune in from the wedding. Like
that's what I told him. And I was like, he's like, dude, I should just tune in while I'm there. I'm like, if you want to, go for it. But like, it's you dealing with your wife at the end of the night, not me. Like, you know? So it's like, I hope he joins, but we also have some backup guests that hopefully they can join in. If it might turn into a 5-person show later tonight, who knows?
If Keith wants to hang around, it's an open invite. Maybe he wants to stay around.
Hey, Keith always has a show on here. If your name's Keith, whether it's Carson or Tuma, you're a host on this show, so you're welcome anytime.
It's your show, baby.
That's right. That's right. we set it up. It's your show. But before we get Keith on here, there's a few things I want to go over. And so I'm going to get the nitty gritty out of the way. And then there's some points I want to get across because there's been a lot going on across the industry. Some of it I don't usually like to comment on, but with how many people ask us to talk about it, I will talk about it and give our opinion. But there's some things that are going on right now, especially rumors that we're just simply not going to comment on because one, we're not going to talk about anything that isn't 100% fact that we don't know about. We're not going to be here being rumor spreaders. So unless it's fact, we're not going to talk about it here on this show. So with that being said, really fast for you guys. If you are tuning in live right now, you have 4 more hours to take advantage of 25% off Woo Tungsten right now in Omnia. So we all hate the prices of tungsten these days. If you want to get tungsten cheap, go head over, take advantage of that.
And I may or may not have bought $200 worth of tungsten when I saw that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Don't blame you. And starting today until the 27th, all of the whole forward-facing, mid-strolling, rave, trend of baits are all 20% off at Omnia right now.
Is it every single?
They have a whole category of all of them. So I highly recommend going and check those out. It's 20% off on all of them. And last thing I'll say is make sure you guys go check out the new arrivals on Omnia. We're going to talk about a little bit more next week, but the new arrivals that just landed on Omnia, highly recommend going to look at that. You can use our code to save money on all those bad boys too. But there's some pretty sneaky stuff that just got added to the Omnia website that I am absolutely hyped about. And I definitely made an order this morning. But tonight's show, we're going to choose a winner tonight with the YouTube comments. So make sure you guys are asking questions for Keith and joining on the conversation later in the show as well. Make sure you guys are active in that chat because we are going to be giving away a Blackfish Gear Rage suit tonight. Bibs and jacket. So we're going to be giving away a whole decked out suit tonight. Make sure you guys get in on that. Start firing away on some of the comments. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll announce the winner later on the show. But getting into it, I think the first thing of order of business that we need to do here, and it's the biggest one of them all, and it kind of, I guess, bittersweet, if you will. I'm happy for them, but also it's tough to see them go, and that is both Rick Clunn and Mark Zona. All I can remember growing up is listening to Mark Zona on my TV with my dad, watching Bassmaster, the reruns, and obviously growing up through him with his TV show and things like that. I know he's still obviously going to be around and everything, but he announced that it was his last tournament that he was going to be announcing with Bassmaster Live. And just got to say thank you to Mr. Mark Zona for everything you've done from an industry standpoint, the character that you are, bringing some spice to all the live streams for years. You putting up fingers going in?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're good. Definitely was a bittersweet moment, but happy for you, man. And same with Mr. Rick Clunn. We put a lot on social, but Rick Clunn moving on, that is the end of a freaking era, man. And I made mention on social media, but it started with Kevin Van Dam, Rick Clunn, Zona, the time, like the generation. When people say that times are changing, turning over a page, a new chapter, it's happening in front of our eyes as we speak, which is pretty crazy to say. It's very rare when you can actually see the moments in time when a sport is actually changing, and we are seeing that right now. Like, people 20 years from now are going to reflect back on this year and a half when Kevin, Zona, Clunn all moved on, and talking about that as a turning point in fishing, or at least as a chapter in fishing, that the page is being turned and it's onto the gauntlet's being handed off to a new generation of anglers, and that's what we're at right now. But Mr. Rick Clunn, Mr. Mark Zona, thank you so much for everything you've done for our sport. I highly doubt you'll ever listen to this show, but I think we'd be remiss if we did not say thank you for everything you've done for the sport of bass fishing. So I got that to say. And then the one thing, I know we put out a breaking news segment about the JT Tompkins disqualification. We won't get into all that because I'm sure there's going to be some other shows that'll get into the whole nitty gritty. Basically, all we know is what the Bassmaster article read. I encourage you guys to go and listen to the breaking news segment we had on that. You can see that in our videos. The one thing I want to bring up, though, is I don't know if you guys have seen this today, but Clark Wendlandt made a post about forward-facing sonar.
It wasn't even a post. I believe he wrote the letter to Bass and then actually posted it to his social media.
Yeah, I believe you're correct there. And so if you haven't checked it out, go to his page. We're not going to we hate using the F word on the show as of recently, but the one thing I want to say on this is, Clark was very opposed to it in the professional sense. But the one thing I want to call kudos to for Clark, but as well as Pat Schlapper, who we're actually going to have on the show here soon, in the comment section, Pat, completely disagreed with Clark. And the one thing I'm going to shout out these boys is they had completely differing opinions and they handled it like gentlemen. And I think we don't have a lot of that these days. So I want to give them a round of applause on that. They respected each other. They appreciate each other. And we can disagree and still get along and still have the same passion, have conversations and get along with each other. So kudos to you boys. We don't have a dog in the fight on that sense, but it was nice to see two grown men not going at it in Facebook comments in an immature way.
Like a Spider-Man meme where they're all just pointing at each other.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. And so this is the last thing I want to say about the drama, because then we're going to erase all this negativity. We're going to get Keith on here and have some freaking fun. And that is, with all of this drama, people keep talking about it. You can choose whether to see negatively or to see positively. And that completely impacts your view on not just fishing, but your opinion on as you go through life, your point of view. So it is up to you to choose If you want to see negative, that's all you're going to think is negative. If you're going to choose to see positive, you will see positive as you go through. At the end of the day, fishing is fun. Turn off your dang phone, get off of social media, and just go fish. Because fishing has always been fun. It is fun, and it will continue to be fun. It's always been that way. Okay, so that's what I encourage everybody. If you see this stuff, because I was one of them, you kind of get overwhelmed with all the stuff that's going on if you turn on social media and you tune into the fishing side of things. Just go have fun, guys, because that's all it is. That's the reason we all love this sport. So encourage you to do
throw
that.
some top water, get a blow up, and laugh like a school child, and remember where it all began.
Amen to that, brother. Go get your best buddy. Go have some fun. And go have a drink or two, and be dummies, because that's
drink or
fun.
two and be responsible. We should put that out there, because last thing we need is somebody saying, "Oh, Serious Hegler told me to have a drink or two."
You know what? That's fine. I endorse that message. Whatever. Go have fun. As long as you're not bickering at each other, just go catch a freaking bass. But all right. I think it's been 10 minutes so far in our show here. Let's get Keith on here. The champ himself, Mr. Keith Carson. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Oh, let me turn.
Welcome back.
Better.
Yeah, perfect, man. Perfect.
You need to cue like the Rocky music. Champ is here. Like,
I know.
I feel like every time Keith comes on is after an awesome event. So kudos to you again.
Thank you. Yeah, it's freaking still can't believe that I, won a dang smallmouth tournament.
So how you feeling about guys calling you a deep guy now?
Oh, I know. Yeah, they're all like, "Man, you went to the dark side using sonar," and I'm like, "Shoot, yeah, man, gotta get good at that thing."
The real question is, how does John Cox feel about it?
He's all right. He's hanging in there. He's he just doesn't want to do it. He's sticking to everything he's learned so far. But I'm like, Fishing Bass Pro Tour, I've seen it firsthand in person. Bass Pro Tour, we got our marshals that read the weights live. So like if I see a guy in the distance, say it's Wheeler or somebody, my marshal's like, "Hey, there's Wheeler. He just caught a 6.0, and he just caught a 4.12. Oh, he just caught a 3.8." And I'm like, "My God," and he's just out there. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure this thing out. You can see it happening live. It changes versus like if you're on the elites or something where you don't know if the guy's catching them or not, and then he'll come to the scales with a good bag, but you don't know how fast it happened or anything like that. So that opened my eyes a lot, Fishing Bass Pro Tour, seeing that.
Yeah. So, dude, I mean, the first year under your belt, I mean, I guess, two things. One, how was that format for you? And two, you had to get like a top 15 to stay in it, right, this year?
Yeah, top 15 in points after the lifetime AOI, and I just snuck in there. So
good.
It was a tough year for me. I mean, new format, it's difficult because like to qualify for Bass Pro Tour, you qualify under the traditional 5-fish format, and then you're thrown into the fire. So say you qualify, you decide to fish it, cool. Every fish counts now. I've never fished that in my life. And although I'm a fisherman, I mean, it's a totally different ball game. Often in tournament scenarios, if you want 5 big fish, typically you're not fishing for a lot of bites. You're doing like the flipping or the frogging, and you're just trying to get a few blow ups all day long. And so, then to switch from that, it's definitely changed the way that I see the water. Normally I can just drive the boat and see something. I'm like, oh, I could probably get a big bite there or there, and that stuff, I got to kind of forget about it and just try to find schools of fish. So as the year progressed, I got better and better. My tournament results got better. Some overall got better. And so, I'd like to try it again and, see if I can keep progressing.
Yeah. What was the biggest alteration you think you made to, I guess, your system from a tournament standpoint to form?
So honestly, using more sonar, more forward facing sonar. Yeah. I mean, under that format, you need to, like, I mean, gosh, you see a fish, you cast to it, you try to catch it. They don't all bite, but you're not wasting any casts. You know, if I'm shallow, like doing the frog inner flipping thing, trying to get big bites, I'm wasting thousands of casts a day, you know, and so you know, you're not getting many bites, but you know, you really got to be dialed with your sonar. And I really learned it this year. I didn't know a whole lot 6 months ago, and I know a little bit more now. So
Just a touch.
yeah, just a little. Yeah.
So with that, I mean, what are some of the things, like obviously going through it and spending more time on it? What are some of the things bass wise, or even just any fish species you think that you learned the most, like something maybe you didn't realize they did before, especially for somebody that's, you know, perfected their craft so shallow, you know,
Yeah.
and moving that out a little bit. Obviously winning on St. Clair, I think goes against the grain of being a shallow guy, which I
Yeah.
think is a great thing for you, but
Right.
what have you learned from that?
You know, it's been kind of funny for me. So far, what I've seen with sonar, I hear this a lot where guys say bass aren't doing what they thought they did. And I'm going to be honest, they're doing exactly what I thought they did. Like, I'm seeing them exactly where I think I would see them prior to sonar. But there is one thing that I never knew. And it's that if you're in 100 feet of water, there are giant bass that swim 2 feet below the surface of the water. In the 100, I don't care how deep it is, 40, 80, 100. And they'll all bite, most of them. Like, I'm talking Toledo Bend, Rayburn, a lot of those reservoirs. I never knew that. And then I also realized we probably hit a lot of bass when we're driving wide open. Like, I mean, they're that shallow.
Dude, you see that bass that's got the crazy indent back? That's what it is. It's from a
Yeah,
prop.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So that's what happened to John Cox's pet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, shoot, man. I mean, it's a whole nother game, you know, and I'm trying to figure out how to increase my percentage of getting bites, and I'm getting better at that. And a lot of it's presentation, but most of it's distance from the fish, and figuring out what direction the fish is swimming before you cast at it. That's like a real big deal. And you know, and leading the fish. You know, if you throw to where he's at and he's moving, he left or right or something, your bait will be behind him every time. You'll never get a bite, you know. So timing, understanding rate of fall on your bait and how far you need to throw ahead of them. A lot of stuff like that, a lot of mathematics and timing and stuff is big keys to sonar.
So math and bass fishing now.
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know if I can sign up for that.
The inner golfer coming out in them. That's what it is.
No, it really is. So like, I practice chipping a lot. Like, that's my golf game. I spray the ball with the driver. I'll spray it left and right like everybody else.
Open that face.
And I can just like chip. I can chip really good and stop the ball. I got a few different shots. And so I'm good at judging distance and feel. And so when it comes to sonar, like, I'll see a fish 72 feet out and I flick underhand. I can flick underhand 90 feet. And so I can just, I can hit them like 72 feet. I'll be within like 2 feet almost every time, and right on the money, like over and over. And it was funny because I did a day 5 with Jody White.
Yeah.
We went out and he's like, wow, Keith, he's like, you're really good at this. He's like, I didn't expect you to be so accurate with it. Like, yeah, I've been practicing, you know.
It's just
That's quite the compliment from Jody, because he loves that jig head minnow game.
Yeah, he's good at it.
Was John just swearing up a storm in the boat? I haven't watched day 5 yet, but I saw that it was pretty. I was told from several people I need to go watch it.
Yeah. So John was like, in 5 minutes, I think he was sleeping on the back deck. He's like, he's like, you're fishing this far offshore? He's like, you know, you can't even see anything out here. He's like,
we're not friends anymore.
Yeah. He was like just sitting on the back deck messing around and
sitting on the back deck, back to you, feet up on the old Merc or whatever motor's on the boat, and just eating some chips and dragging a worm.
Yep. That's Cox.
Nice.
That's awesome.
He was not thrilled about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Hey, a win is a win, my friend.
That's
Especially
right.
against that crew.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Those guys are really good. Those guys, all of them, but especially that younger crew that just qualified for the Bass Pro Tour. Those guys that got top 5. Those guys are. I mean, Alec Morrison. Someone told me that his average finish was 6th place, and no one has ever won Angler of the Year with the amount of points that he's had. No one and ever. And I don't know if I've ever heard of that. Even Van Dam, like averaging 6th every term. That's insane.
It is insane, man.
Yeah.
It is cool to see more of these kids coming out of the Northeast, though. I'll say that. Tyler Williams, Alec Morrison, Kyle Patrick. You're seeing some more Northeastern boys coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Ratherall's another one too.
They had a great season this year, qualified for the Classic. Here's my question for you. Tech or not, who is in your top 5 right now active anglers on the Pro Tour? Well, not just Pro Tour, but like both circuits.
Like, okay, like as far as like who's my favorite or the best fisherman?
Who do you think is like so obviously you fished the Bass Pro Tour this year. You've been in the NPFL. You've been around all the bass guys. Who would you say is top 5 fishing the best right now?
Jacob Wheeler, Dustin Connell, both the Johnston brothers are the Johnston brothers. I've been impressed with them. They are in the top consistently pre-sonar and post-forward sonar. I'm impressed with guys who did well before sonar and after and have adapted and adjusted well. Patrick Walters is one of them. I'm impressed with Patrick and his ability. I like him a lot. Drew Gill is really a really good angler, and I like him as a person too. Alec Morrison, he's really good. I mean, the stats we were just talking about, I've never heard of anyone averaging a 6th place finish for the year, you know? So, it's those guys.
Dude, it is. I feel like we're in a time in our sport where, because this is not like a football or a hockey or something like that, where we've had these generations, way before, like where bass fishing, I mean, we can recount the beginning. Most people can, recount when it started, and we're watching the original guys phase out. But it's interesting to see the blend of new school, old school, and then the hybrid, if you will, the guys that are in the middle of the road, like yourself, I would say, that have been around the block for a little bit, but also are, I guess, new to everything that's occurring. We're in a weird time right now. Like, it's just a blend of everything. And that might be why a lot of the buzz is happening. It's just because we have this crossroads that we've never been to before in bass fishing.
Right.
So I don't know. It's interesting, man. I don't know. What's your take on it all? Are you just kind of like taking it day by day and seeing what's happening? Or do you kind of you're trying to calculate the next season?
Yeah, I'm certainly trying to calculate the next season. There's a lot of talk about what's going on with sonar, a lot of, I don't think it's going to be banned. This is just my opinion. I don't know anything, at all. I don't think it's going to get banned.
Nothing at all. I mean, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as like what's going on with this, but I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm interested in to hear what they propose, and it affects, it affects a lot, and decisions I would make through the year. And am I allowed sonar or not? Is it like a one day with, one day without kind of deal? I don't know. So I'm really interested in to hear what they propose, what's going to happen.
If you had a choice, what would you go with? I mean, after a year of going so hard, learning the tech to going back to your old way, like, what would you stay with?
I would like it. It's hard. Like, I kind of would like something in the middle where if there's like, whether it's a day with it and a day without, that would benefit me a lot. Actually, that's a personal thing. Like, I would love to go blast them on sonar, and then the next day they're like, okay guys, no sonar today. I'd go do something else, where I think some guys might really fall hard without it. and vice versa. You know, like, well, we already got that. We already got guys like the Hackneys and Cox and guys who are falling not by not using it or adapting, you could say. And so I think if they met in the middle, it would be truly who is the greatest angler, who can do it and who can fish without it. Your guys like Wheeler, Patrick Walters and stuff who are really, really good anglers. I would like to see that. It'd be interesting to me. And then also personally, I think it would benefit me some because I can fish with or without it. But man, I love using it. I mean, just won a tournament with it, so it's hard to say, you don't want it to go away or anything, but I don't know. There's just so much talk going on. It's hard to say, what's going to happen.
Yeah. I think that's the guys like you that, I guess the unspoken, I don't want to say that. I mean, more like you're not unspoken, but you don't have a dog in the fight, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like you can go either way on it. Like, okay, just tell me what we need to do. I'm going to go fish because I know I can catch him. Right. It's guys like you that will be fine regardless of the decision.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like we have the two extremes that are the only ones that are talking about this. If that makes sense.
Right. The two extremes are making it to where we have to meet in the middle somewhere, because it really is two extremes, and so I think that's what's causing this or part of it anyway. I think there's a lot of things going on, but it's part of what's gonna, make some kind of agreement happen in the future, I think.
This is just my opinion, Keith, but I think the perfect compromise that we have here that we're coming to in the common ground is limit it to one forward-facing sonar unit on the boat, make it 10 or 12 inches, no side scanning with it, just one graph up front. And if you want to use it, great. If you don't want to use it, don't.
Right.
And that's what it should come down to.
Yeah. That would be good. I mean, for me, I run perspective and forward, and I'm going to tell you guys, perspective is just as important as forward sonar. If you aren't running both, you're not. I mean, I know Drew Gill doesn't. He kills it. He's really good with just forward. That's all he has. He doesn't run two sonars, or he doesn't have them on his transom or nothing, I don't think. He just runs one. And I run perspective, and my gosh, it's amazing. You can see everything, and you can see fish swimming. I could see what direction they're swimming. So like on forward, you have to see them and then kind of like track to, with your foot to see. But I can look at perspective and immediately see which way he's facing and the degree that he's facing. So it's like, I gotta have both,
How deep can you effectively fish perspective?
Well, so I got the 0 degree fish obsessed mount, and I can just knock it down anywhere. But I usually run it at 0 degrees, and 60 feet out, I can see 15 feet down at a 0 degree angle. And even further out, I can see 20 feet and more. But if I want to knock it down a notch, I can see, I can easily see 30 feet down and 20 feet in front of the boat or so. Wow. You really see everything. But
dude, I want to get into your win here because I'm sure there's some people listening that are like they're so sick of this forward conversation. But I want to say, for the sake of conversation, real fast, that I think the middle of the road that we're talking about, I'm gonna for sake of conversation, I'm gonna disagree and say that having one deucer. To Clark Wendlett's point, doesn't solve anything. I think the one deucer still allows those doing the scoping thing to be just as effective. I think just the added transducers make them even more effective. I think the only way you can find a middle ground between the two extremes is the Brandon Cobb solution that he came up with, where it's a split schedule, where it's half your events with it, half your events without it.
Yeah.
And that is the modern day best angler you'll get, is the one that can do the best in the 5 without it and the best of the 5 half with it, half without it.
Yeah.
I think that's the way you have to meet in the middle, but again, like Andy and I, we don't have a dog in this fight where it's, you know what I mean?
I think that that is probably the best option, is something like along that lines. Some tournaments with, some without. Bass Pro Tour, we have marshals. So ours could be a period with, a period without. It could be something like that because we have more options with that Bass Pro Tour. But in like an invitational format, it would probably be a tournament with and a tournament without. And I did fish in a no sonar tournament this year that was held on Lake Lanier. And man, I was impressed by how they did it. And it was very interesting. And so you have to go to a meeting the day prior. So for those people, listeners that don't know, it's they have a little cap that goes over it can go either on the side of your transducer, or the side that goes to the black box or the side that goes to your unit, and they cap it, and it has a zip tag that has a serial number on it. And if you cash a check, you need to have an official remove your zip tie and verify that it hasn't been broken. If you don't cash a check, whatever, take it off yourself. If you cheated, it doesn't matter. You didn't cash a check anyway. So
yeah.
But it was really good. It worked well, and stuff. So there is ways that they can do it. But yeah, back to your point though. I mean, I think the tournament with or tournament without is the fairest way. Because if we went to one transducer, like I really prefer two, but guys like Drew Gill, they run one and they just kick everybody's butt all year. Yeah. So I really don't think. I think from like the perspective of guys spending $50,000 in multiple units, multiple transducers, that's excessive, and taking it to one is good. But I don't think it would really affect the overall outcome of the guys who are really good with sonar. I don't think it would hurt them, by going down to one.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. While we're on the subject of taboo things, I do really want to get to your win here.
No, it's fine.
But so one of the things I was talking with the guys about, because I had a great conversation a while back with Ken Duke about what the future of at least the tournament side, and especially in the age of live bass fishing, what it needs, what it might be lacking right now. Two things he told me were personalities, which I think we're doing really well with right now. With Robertson, you have Kyle Patrick now coming up as well. You got Cox that people love to follow along with. You got there's several different ones that we have, especially on the BPT as well. And so I think we're doing good there. But the one thing you mentioned was there's no rivalries or dramas type of deal,
right?
And while I'm the straight edge, don't ever get into confrontation side of me growing up, says I don't want any trouble type of deal. I do think that a little now I'm not trying to say I agree with any sabotage of anyone's event,
right?
But I do think some bickering on the water and some PR played rivalries would be good for the sport of bass fishing. And because like when people talked about KVD and Skeet, like I think we need some of that, like how they play up some of these guys these days, when it's, I've seen Lee Livesey and Patrick Walters tease around the fact that they like to just beat each other. That's all they care about, is beating each other in events, or Wheeler versus Connell type of deal. I think those are important. I'm curious from your perspective, the guy in the trenches as a pro angler, do you agree that's also good for the sport as well? Or do you just want no drama? Let's just go catch them.
I think the drama is good. I think it's good for viewers and, making it a little more exciting. I think that if it's within the rules and stuff, and as you said, there's no sabotaging going on or anything like that, I think it's good. I think that would help. And the old days, I remember growing up, there was so much drama, and I would describe it as like a good drama. Like, you remember when Swindle blew by Randy Howell, and Howell waved him through?
Oh, the classic.
Yeah. And Howell's like, come on, don't come off pad. You're going to muddy it up kind of thing. And he waves him through, and then Swindle got disqualified anyway, and Swindle's like, he told me to, and he's like, you shouldn't have done it. It was close. But like that kind of stuff, and I mean, I guess it happens now and then, but I remember things like that happening a lot back
the
then.
KVD and the Iconelli, you're not a part of the community.
Yeah.
That one, or the KVD, literally, like when a guy was leading going in the last day, I've heard stories that he'd walk up to the leader and go up, shake their hand, say, "Good luck, you better catch him."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
that kind of shit talk, I think, is awesome. And
Yeah,
with today, how well these trails are doing media, I think it could be so good if you play some of this up.
Yeah.
Like, I think if they would have, if all parties were in on and unaware of what was going to happen, I think if they were smart, one, I would have loved to see with this whole G and Chris Johnson situation. Again, I wasn't at the dock, I wasn't there, I don't know the full situation, but from a outsider looking in, would have loved to know that maybe Chris would have talked to G before and be like, "Hey, I have AOI on the line. I'm gonna be here." At least have a communication about it. And then Bass could have been like the whole U.S. versus Canada, have some fun rivalry to go along with it. That would have gotten some people in on it. You know what I mean? That would have been awesome to play up. But I think the things like that we can get in on, where it's, Lee Livesey, smack talking Walters on the dock in the morning, things like that. That could be, not saying that actually happened. I'm just saying, for example, that kind of things I think could be great for the sport, where it's like UFC, where a lot of it's calculated. You know what I mean? Where we don't want to pay these guys to act, but at the end of the day, like, some friendly jabber doesn't hurt anybody.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember. I think it was in 2007. Jeremy Starks won a tournament on Lake Wheeler, and Van Dam got second. Starks was on a pile of fish, and he's idling out. It's day 4. And Starks is running his mouth, and he's like, "Van Dam's fishing for second place today," and he kind of knew it. Starks was on a pile of fish, and they immediately cut to Van Dam, and Van Dam's like, "I know he's up there running his yapper." He's like, "We're gonna have to show him how it's done today," And I was like, "This is great," like they both know they're talking crap about each other.
See, that's the kind of stuff we need, man.
Yeah. And they're idling, they're right in front of each other, idling out, and you can see the other guy in the background of the shot. It was pretty cool.
Dude. He probably kept turning his head while talking and pointing, and
Yeah.
He's like, "I got you, bud."
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments this year, at least from a live standpoint. Granted, this was just for people that know that they're good buddies, so it's all in jest, but when it was Logan Parks and John Garrett fishing on one of the same spots in Wheeler, and when John Garrett makes the comment, "I'm not worried about anybody else catching anything on this spot," and Logan's just sitting right there struggling to catch him. That kind of fun smack talk, I think, is good.
Right.
Like, you think about it, like the WWE, people get in on it because of that drama, right?
Yeah. Right.
Everyone knows it's fake. But I'm not saying to that extent, but I think it'd be cool to see some rivalries come out of this thing, where it's, Keith Carson versus Jacob Wheeler, things like that. See some guys go head to head where you play up on it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be hurtful or making digs at each other or anything like that, but it gets people in on it, man. It's Team Keith versus Team Jacob type of deal. Like, it's, it gets people jockeying for each other. It brings more eyes to the sport, and it's all in good fun anyway. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to go a long-winded deal there.
No, it's good. I think what would help with that too is, like, if we got to know each other as anglers, as professional anglers, more than we do, because although I fish against a lot of the guys and I see them here and there on the dock, we really don't interact as much as fans may think we do. Like, you can go a whole year and hardly ever see a guy or talk to a guy because we're, different days that we fish and things like that. So, I think too, like, if we interacted more at meetings or had meals or something at each meeting, got to know each other, we could have more of that smack talking and get, because people's personalities and what they might think, and you could say what you think they might think, and it would make TV more entertaining,
So here's an idea for all you MLF folk listening to this thing. You have a bucket A and a bucket B house, like fraternities.
Right.
And then you guys really go at it when you get back to the house each day.
Yeah.
That would make things fun, man. We can kind of
put them in like the same fenced area, so everyone has to have a cookout every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That would sure make some things interesting.
Make it like Survivor Series at night. Like, you know,
right.
obstacle course you have to go through. Team A and Team B.
Yeah. Are you in on the team series?
Yeah. I fish next week.
Next week? Okay, so you probably can't talk about that just yet.
No, no, can't. Don't know. I don't even know what lake I'm going. I mean, we don't know anything.
Who's your partner for that?
Ron Nelson.
Ron Nelson. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he picked me. So yeah, he's the captain, and then we're just we don't know what you know. I'm gonna bring a variety of baits and a couple Fenwick rods, and hopefully we can figure something out. I think you get like an hour ride around, and then you fish. So we'll figure it out. You know.
We'll have to be tuning in and seeing. I like that team.
Yeah.
I think I saw a preliminary list of the teams, and I think of that. That's a sleeper team, man.
Yeah, if it could happen. We fish.
Do you and Ron Dog fish similar?
Yes. Yeah, we're both like to sight fish. We're both more shallow water than deep, but we can both do forward sonar. He's pretty good at it. We got a lot of similarities, so hopefully we can run into them and freaking wreck them.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, we're 40 minutes in this show, and we're finally getting around to the fact that we can talk about your freaking win, dude. So I apologize.
That's fine.
About that. So I got a synopsis, obviously, talking with you at ICAST and everything like that. But kind of give us the lowdown, man. Like, what got you on that different class fish? Did you find them in practice? Did you find the tournament? Like, kind of give us the 101.
Yeah. So, we got 3 days of official practice on the invitationals, and day one, I went out to Erie, and I want to tell you, I think I saw 4 boats all day long. And it was eerie, actually. It's weird, you just can't see a boat as far as you can look in any direction. But I caught them really good. I didn't blast them, but I think my best 5 would have gone around 27-ish, 26 or so. My next best 5 would have been around 22 and a half. And I had found 5 really good spots where I could catch multiple fish over 4 pounds. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to go to St. Clair the next day. And I went up to Anchor Bay, and I was fishing out there a lot and moving around, and I located schools of fish. And when I found the schools of fish, I seemed to only catch 3.5 to 4 pound class fish, which I was looking for much bigger fish. After the practice I had the day before, I'm looking for giants, don't care about 20 pounds right now. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that each time I left a school of fish, if I trolled away, I would find a lone fish all by itself. And when I would catch them, they were 5-pounders. And I was like, holy cow, the first one's like 5'10". I'm like, geez. So I found another school of fish, caught it 17, 18 pounds, trolled away. And I'm talking, I get hundreds of yards from them. And there's nothing. And the first fish I saw, I throw to, it's like a 5'7". I'm like, huh. So I just start trolling. And I'd go for a while and not see anything. And then I'd see one. And every time it was like 412 or better. And I think I had day 2 of practice, I had like over 25 with my best 5. And my next best 5 went like 24. So I had 10 pushing 5 pounds. And I was like, I like that more than Erie because I felt like I had such a good backup. And so I went with St. Clair, and I just ran it 3 days, and I never caught him in the tournament like I did in practice. I think I had almost 23 day 1, and then about 22, and then 22.8. I had like 67.6 or something for 3 days, but just never caught 5.5s or anything like I did in practice. But hey, it was enough to get it done. So yeah, I was pretty thrilled with that.
It always freaking works out that way anyway.
Yeah, right. It's always so good in practice. Yeah.
Did that scare you any, having that good of practice?
No, oddly it didn't. Normally it does. Normally I'm like, oh, this isn't good. But there was just, it was, I felt really comfortable about it because no one was doing what I was doing. Like I knew where the schools of fish were located. I saw lots of boats on the schools and in the areas where schools were. And I mean, I was like anywhere from 400 yards to 600 yards from those guys, just out looking for roamers. So I was far, far away, and really didn't see many people in practice, and really didn't see anyone but locals in the tournament. Just a few guys that have, watched me fish and stuff like that. So I just kind of had a calm feeling like, this is all going to work out, and you just get out there and pick them off one at a time every now and then, and get pretty much catch 5 and run all the way back to weigh in. Just freaking run 50 miles back. Yeah.
How is some of that big water in the new Vexus for you?
It was good. It was I was impressed. I made it all the way out there. I didn't quite run as fast as some of the fiberglass guys, where, they're running pretty hard, and I would just kind of baby it. But I got there safely every day. I never broke anything on my boat, so that could be part of it too. A lot of guys had broken trolling motors and, cracked jack plates and, crazy stuff. Graphs separating from hitting waves, like the top part of the graph would just come off. I saw it all up there, and I never had
slow down a little bit. Jeez,
I do. These guys, I'm telling you, some of them just ride hard, and I'm like doing like 28 to 32, and they're just like slamming. But yeah, I take it easy. I don't like to break my stuff. Yeah.
Here's a fun question for you, Keith. What percentage would you say, if any, of some of the top level pro anglers need to go back and learn how to drive a boat again?
100% of them. Just about.
I love that.
All of them. I'm serious. These guys are terrible. There's a couple guys that can drive. John Cox, he's a good boat driver. He'll never even run wide open. I don't know if.
Well, you got to be. I feel like to get into some of that small crap, you got to hit it on the head.
Yeah. And I just run. I mean, I don't know. I just run easy most of the time. I'll run at 5,000 RPM or something, but I'm not like. Everyone is like wide open all the time.
Well, you got probably guys going all wide open, everything standing up, scoping all day, and you're probably sitting there in your bimini top.
That's right. Yeah. Dude, the bimini's awesome.
It's got an iced tea in one hand, other hand on the steering wheel.
Andy, one of my favorite moments of Keith, Fish with Keith, was we're at Oneida for that Fenwick event, and it started dumping on us, and all the boats are getting soaked. We got rain gear, whatever. We look over at Keith's boat. He's got this bimini top, and they're all drop shotting off the side under it, all dry. And I'm like, this guy's next level genius, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, John made me get that thing. He's like, you got to try it. I was like, I'm not getting that. He's like, just to get it. And I was like, all right, so I got it. It's awesome. It's great in the rain, and then if it's hot and sunny, your seats are cool all day long. Like, you can fish and you jump in the driver's seat to take off. They're cool. They don't burn you. Like there's so many good things about it. And you can see your graph when you're driving. You don't have all the glare and stuff, or if you're idling around, you can just see your graph so clear. Like it's amazing. I'm impressed by the Bimini. Yeah.
Is that the underrated boat accessory right now?
Totally underrated. It's something just guys don't know about. We don't run them. And you can put it down too, so you can put it down and put the Velcro on and run wide open if you want.
There you go.
Next up, all the fiberglass boats are going to be out there idling around with Bimini tops on them eventually.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, like
it's genius.
I feel like if you could figure out a way where it's part of like, the boat, like it's a button push where it can rise and fall like a convertible. I feel like that could be a thing for bass boats.
Yeah. No,
there we go. Let's delete this clip. We're gonna make that a product, and then we're gonna get rich.
Yeah, like a way that it like retracts and sits right behind the seats, kind of like how the net will, and then you hit a button and it like rises up and folds over.
That would be awesome.
It's an accessory for your Raptors now. Raptors, when they're up, you're good to go.
Bimini Raptors, nice.
Bimini Raptors.
Like
Coda Bimini Raptors. It's $1 million idea.
Love it. Now, Keith, what was like the main setup you were using to catch those smallmouth out there? Were you drop shotting them? Were you doing the old jig head minnow?
Yeah.
Tube.
So practice was it was like drop shot. They would eat a drop shot pretty good. And first day of the tournament, I'd get them on a drop shot on a Berkeley flatworm, but they kind of got off of it a little bit on the later days. I think a lot of boat traffic and stuff were guys driving over them and whatnot. And so I switched to a jig head minnow, and I put on that Maxent jerk shad, and they seem to like that pretty good. So I just keep it above them all the time. Never let it get down to them. Always keep it 2 to 4 feet above them, and the higher the better. Like sometimes I'd keep it like 6 feet, 8 feet above them, because what I noticed was as you're shaking it, if you can get them to see it that far apart, like 6 or 8 feet, if they notice it, as they come towards it, they gain speed. And then by the time they get to it, they'd have so much speed, they would just almost eat it every time. And that was like a big learning deal for me.
Great.
Was that. Yeah, because I used to like try to let it get in their face, and you'd see them like figure eighting it and then get all the way to the boat and never eat it. And that happened a lot. And I was like, huh. And I had one that ate it where I cast it, and he heard it, and he just swam up and ate it off the top like a topwater from like 12 feet down. I was like, huh. So I just stopped letting it get down to him. And that was the key.
Dang.
Keep it way up there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one thing too. Andy, so Keith's favorite rod is actually not even a bass rod.
That's right.
Well, lure
walleye rod, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. 7.2 medium light, the Fenwick world class walleye rod.
Is that because it has like the extra fast tip to it, but like a deep parabolic bend, so you don't pull out like a light wire hook?
Yeah, it's got like the backbone where like you can pull if you want to, but it's got that tip where, it keeps them pinned, and you can baby them also. The freaking thing's awesome.
You think you should just rename it to the Keith Carson rod?
Yeah, we really should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Good idea.
Yeah, because we'll pass that along to Brinkerhoff, and then we'll rename it.
Yeah, I mean, that thing is amazing. It's my favorite spinning rod I've ever used. I learned about it at Oneida.
Yeah,
that's when I was like, whoa, this thing's awesome.
We had this small living room in this Airbnb we were staying at, and there was like what, Keith, like 300 rods.
Yeah,
and it was like Keith and Courts that were just going shopping basically. Or no, it wasn't Courts. Sorry, it was you and Corey Sprangle that were just going shopping.
Yeah,
new Fenwick.
We tried out most of them, I'd say. I mean, we would just bend them on the carpet and pulling, feeling them, and yeah, I went through a lot of them.
That's what you got to do. That's how you got to figure it out. That's how you got to figure out what's the ones you want to rock with, because that was before you even were a Fenwick. I feel like your determination to be on the Fenwick brand was made that weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It helped me a lot. I was like, oh, I can do this. Yeah, this is good. Because those rods were great. It's like you need to go through, like, even if you're shopping in a department store, I like the department stores that have carpet on the ground, because I like to bend the rods. You got to like push on them and feel how spongy they are.
Yeah.
Because each manufacturer is different. One will say medium heavy, and the next one will say medium heavy, moderate action, whatever. Everything can be the same, and they bend differently. Same length, same everything. And so you got to feel what's right for you. And, you really got to bend them. Yeah. You really got to put them down on the ground and
lean on them a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is one freaking cool thing that I love about the Fenwick lineup, though, is that like if you get that action that you like, that 7.2 medium light, and you get it in an Eagle all the way up to the world class, it's the same damn action. Nothing changes, which I think that is pretty special about that. Well, I think they call it the family flex.
The family flex, yeah. Because like the world class is their top tier, excellent rod. That's what I use. But if you're someone who's more like a weekend angler and you don't want to spend that price point, you can get an Eagle, you can get an HMG, you can get something that's more affordable, and it's the same rod that I'm using. And, it might just be a gram or two heavier or something, but it's the same thing. And they're awesome. I use them too. I have HMGs, and I like the HMGs a lot, and they feel really good. So all of them do. I got all of them, but yeah.
I'm sure you got every freaking
Yeah.
one. Yeah, you got
Everyone
the
he liked at Oneida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yep.
Keith, man, what's off season looking like for you? You coming Papa Carson, aren't you?
Yeah, you won't believe it. So I got my first child is due in October, and I bought a house, and it's a fixer upper. So prior to fishing, I used to paint apartments with John Cox, and John and we learned how to hang drywall because we got a lot of hurricanes, when we were younger, and so we like learned how to hang drywall, not by choice, because people needed it because their houses were destroyed. So we started hanging drywall, finishing drywall, texturing, painting. I'm a carpenter. I could do cabinets, crown molding, all that. So anyways, long story short, I bought a house. It's a fixer-upper, and I am working on it like 10 to 12 hours a day, every day, ripping out walls, but everything's going to be brand new. Everything, new windows, new ceilings, floors, cabinets, everything. So it's going to be a good investment. It'll increase in some value when I'm finished, but I got about a month's worth of work ahead of me, and I'm rushing because we got a kid coming, so trying to finish it. But
you putting old Johnny Cox to work too?
Yeah, he's gonna come by maybe tomorrow or something. He tells me, he's like, man, maybe I'll stop by and check out the progress, and I'm like, well, stop by at 9 a.m. And bring your work shoes with you.
Yeah,
don't come at 5.
Right. He's like, man, I'm past those days. Good luck.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, man. I think I forgot him at home. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, we'll
That's
see.
cool.
Maybe we'll get him out there. Who knows? But
I just find some local high school angler and be like, hey, you come help me fix up this house and we'll go fishing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I can give him some rods to try out or something.
There you go. I'm sure they'll love a Fenwick walleye rod down there.
Right. Oh, I don't know if I can give him that one. I like
yeah. Not the good stuff.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's cool, man. But I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Thank
I learned
you.
about that at ICAST, and I was like, I don't know, man. Papa Carson?
Yeah.
That kid's in for it, man.
I know. I'm like, oh, man. Like, it's scary. It's exciting.
You know what you're having, or do you guys not find out?
Yeah, it's a boy.
Enjoy.
Yeah, so everyone's been telling me, they're like, you're so lucky you got a boy and not a girl, and I'm like, I don't know. So
I don't know. I got 2 girls and it's awesome. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, because they're young, Andy. Wait till they hit 13.
Yeah, you are not kidding. My 5-year-old thinks she's 18 sometimes. So she's like, no, Dad, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, who are you?
He's already laying down the law. That's awesome.
Oh God! Like, here's my card.
Yeah. So Keith, are you gonna let him come on the nice Vexus, or are you gonna make him go through the gauntlet that you and John did with the John boat and everything?
No, he can. Well, I don't know. I'll probably make him get a John boat if he wants to fish and stuff. Then I think when he's 14. He could. That's when I got a John boat, and that's when you can get your license in Florida to drive a boat. And so I'd get him a John boat with like a 10 or 15 or something, and just see it. He's got to love it.
Have him go burn down some marinas. Wasn't that the story?
Oh gosh,
Light marina, things on fire.
Yeah, that was the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. We snagged a power line and like arced. It was terrible.
Have you ever heard the story, Andy?
Transformer.
No.
Spark.
Oh, Keith, you gotta say it. You gotta tell it now.
Yeah. So, Cox and I were fishing near a marina somewhere in the nation, and he made like the worst cast I had ever seen with his jig, and it wrapped around the line, and he went to pull it. And when he pulled it, the hook sank into the power line. And that did something. Instantly, the line like melted all the way to the reel. But it also simultaneously exploded the transformer. Sparks went everywhere. It was like seen out of like, I don't know, Back to the Future when they're, when they've got the power going to the clock. Yeah. And we were like, blew our mind. We're like, holy crap. And I look at the reel, and everything was all like melted and stuff, and John didn't get shocked. I don't know how. And I'm like, dude, we need to get out of here like right now. Like, it was just it was just a disaster. So we left. Things were smoking and sparks were flying, and we just got the hell out of there. I don't know. I don't know.
911 anonymous. Somebody just sank a jig into a power line, and the whole place is burning down.
Hey, that's the Florida man, you know.
Yeah,
Florida man blows transformer with a jig off a John boat. Yeah, that's good headline.
Somewhere in the nation, though. Somewhere
in the nation.
Yeah. I'm sure they had a fire extinguisher.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're quit fishing.
Yeah. Well, Keith, you got anything else coming up that the folks need to know about, and anything like that in the off season they should pay attention to?
Man, just getting the house ready. Got the baby coming. I'm going to practice my golf game a little bit. My boat is for sale. If anyone wants a 24 Vexus, reach out. It's fully loaded, 316s. Got transducers up front, 24 Vexus. Thing's nice. Going to get rid of that, work on getting a new model, and getting ready for next year. Looking forward to, all the schedules coming out. I know MLFs has came out, but I'm looking forward to just seeing everything, NPFL and Bass, and just want to see where everybody's going, and always into fishing, and might do some red fishing next year. But,
that's right. You and John are going to do
that. We might. Well, you need to see, that's part of why we need to see the schedules too. So, because, the Bass thing obviously is our deal that comes first, but if it works out, we might jump into some redfish and, see how we do. Take, I don't know, give it a try.
Dude, that would be so freaking cool. I think I remember you saying that at ICAST. That would be freaking awesome.
It just sounds fun.
We just stick a camera on your guys' boat.
Yeah, they should. We should, because who knows what's going to happen, and we don't know what we're doing. I've never caught a redfish, and I live in Florida, born and raised here.
Yeah,
all I do is
amazing.
Fish. Yeah, I don't even.
And they're just basically a saltwater bass, right? Like they eat all the same crap.
Yeah, and they go super shallow, so it's like sight fishing, from what I hear. So I'm looking forward to that. I can definitely sight fish them.
John and Keith both on the front deck of a Vexus in the brackish water, somewhere in the back slough, throwing wacky Sankos at reeds for reds.
Wacky, that's it. I'm just going wacky general. Every one of them.
It's gonna be the best Maxent General ad is when you guys are catching reds on a Maxent General, on a baby bass Maxent General.
That's when you know you don't need anything else.
That's right. That's a dang fact. Well, dude, I appreciate the heck out of you. Congrats again on the dub. Congrats again on the kiddo, and looking forward to keeping up with all that. And it's always a pleasure getting you on here, buddy.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. Great time, great show. Yeah. Appreciate you, and good luck.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon, Keith.
Good luck. See you guys.
See you, man. There you have it, folks. Mr. Keith Carson. Always a trip with Mr. Keith Carson.
He might be one of the most interesting men in bass fishing right now.
Oh, he is. Yeah, some of the stories that guy has to tell. Well, they'll never see a podcast, but he is one of the best storytellers that I will say out there industry wise. But speaking of storytelling, we do have a show in the works. We don't have an official date for it, but Mr. Bernie Schultz is actually going to come on the show and do some of a timeline of his career and give some pretty cool stories and things he's seen and some wacky stuff. So I'm literally looking forward to that one with Bernie because he's been around the block. He's been around
too.
Yeah, he's been around almost as long as Clun, man. He's seen a lot in the fishing industry, and definitely would appreciate to hear some of his wisdom, and definitely intrigued to hear some of the stories he's got, man. But that'll be quite enjoyable. And speaking of enjoyable, we still have a whole other part to this show, guys. So we have, unfortunately, Mr. Caleb Bell cannot join. Well, it's still up in the air if he's going to join from the wedding or not. But as far as we know, he might not be able to join tonight. But we do have Mr. Alex Rudd that's going to join us here. And then I don't know how he made his way onto the show. We'll keep it a surprise for now. But basically, Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys with a beard he's going to be coming on this show here.
All he's missing is horde of cats.
Yeah.
Rodney.
That's right.
I was going to do a quick message. Next Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. I don't know if that gives anybody any idea of who's coming on, but a quick message from X2 Power, and we'll get back with these hooligans.
In the world of battery power, a word to the wise: compromise elsewhere.
All right. We are back. Part 2 of the show. We're going to bring back a segment we haven't done in, I don't know, a couple
probably like 2 months. Yeah, at least.
It's been a minute. And that is fish it, box it, or trash it. And so without further ado, let's bring on our first guest here for part 2. And I catch up with Mr. Alex Rudd. What's going on, pal?
Howdy.
I have to say you're a lot nicer than me running that X2 ad. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm here. I went fishing today. It was fun. I watched John Dalton catch a 6.5 pounder and then went and waded in a creek and caught some fish. It was a good time.
Awesome. Spot or a largie?
A largemouth. It was one of the coolest eats I've ever seen. So John goes, "Oh my God, those fish are huge." And I was like, so I stood up in my kayak and he was standing up. And dude, there's a wolf pack of like 5, 6 pounders. Like they were all the same size. They were huge. And like they were just like cruising on the bottom like carp. I've never seen anything quite like it. So John throws over a 7-inch fluke, like a Magnum fluke, sinks it down to him and just starts twitching it, like barely twitching it. And this one largemouth like breaks off from the group and just starts following it like so nonchalantly. And John kills the fluke and it just noses down on it and goes and sucks it up. And I go, "John, he's got it." And John goes, "Oh." He starts plotting him. He's going, "Oh my God, oh my God." He gets it in the net, looks back at me. He goes, "That's a 6-pounder." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's a 6-pounder." And it was 22 3/4 inches and it was 6.5 pounds. Yeah.
Beauty.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, big old largemouth. It was fun. It was a good time. It was good. It was a good time watching him do that. Like, because he was just, John gets more excited about catching fish from that big to that big more than anybody else I know, and I love it because he just truly enjoys fishing for what it is, and he's an awesome human. But it was a good day today.
His name is the epitome of what he is a creek fishing adventurer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean we waded up a creek after we did that, so that was a river float, and we get off. He goes, "Hey, you want to go get some Mexican food and then wade up a creek?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so we went and ate some Mexican food and waded up a creek, and it was a good time. And we,
what is it about Mexican food for you Tennessee boys?
Oh, listen, every time me and John fish together, we get Mexican food. We call it MD. It's Mexican dinner. Every time we say we're going to go get some MD. Outside of that, I don't know. Mexican food is just a way of life down here. I love Mexican food.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. So I was disappointed in the place we chose today, though. Me and John both were, because it looked like our food was cooked in an easy bake oven. Like the portions were that big, and it was $59 for me, him, and another guy. Yeah. So
was it gourmet Mexican, like easy baked dinner? Like,
no, it was just like generic ass Mexican food, and it wasn't that great. And it was. I told John, I was like, "John, we're never coming back to this. We usually go to a place, Los Poblanos, and like that's normally where we go, and ended up not going there. We went to La Patrona or something, and it was La Pasucky, and I didn't like it. But anyway,
yeah.
What? Fucking motherfuckers. Yeah, that was fun. If you've not seen that video, you need to go check it out. My favorite part is on TikTok. There's now a debate going on that people are like, there has to be more to this story. Literally, no, there's nothing else to this story. That dude pulled up, said, "F you kayaking mother effers," and then pulled off. And that is the total extent of that entire story. That's exactly how that went down.
That's what you should do, is for them just make a members only video of 3 hours straight of the hour and a half before and hour and a half after this incident where literally nothing happens.
Literally nothing happens.
Here you go, pal.
Yeah. It's just like, dude, that guy was mad. That guy was just mad at the world. I think what happened. So that, okay,
Here, let's get on Bubbles here and then finish this.
We gotta go down this rabbit hole first, because I'm about to piss some people off. So
with But Bubbles, from where he's at, I wonder if he's actually ever seen that show.
He lives that show. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I probably missed that.
I'm just kidding, but we love him all the same. The Jabberhammer himself, Paul from the Bass and Brew podcast.
Gang.
What's going on? What are you wearing?
Oh my God, what are those?
This old man.
What are you wearing?
They're my Captain Andrew Full glasses. I wanted to be twinsies with him tonight.
I love it. So, have you ever seen Trailer Park Boys, Paul?
Of course I have. Who hasn't watched that?
So good.
that
Have you ever
delightful
seen the
show?
Bubbles Wayne Gretzky promo?
Look, I can't remember anything. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. I can't remember no TV show that I watched. Probably, yeah, I've watched it. But I have the reverse Canadian accent of Bubbles.
What?
How do you have a reverse
How
Canadian?
does that happen?
Okay, it's southern.
A
It
and
ain't
A.
northern. I can't look. Here's the best that I can do for Bubbles. Hey, you slice. I can't even do it. Canadian accents are the.
Well, hey
are
there, hold there,
reversed.
bud. How you doing there? Eh?
Yeah.
Well, your 4-pound lip doesn't help either, bud.
You want some lutefisk? I love lutefisk.
Lutefisk. God. Oh,
It's good to have you on here, Paul. I
Hey
miss
man,
you,
I'm glad to be here. You know, I'm just running around here drinking White Claw Surge, crushing trash, and doing a little bit of shrimping.
gang.
shrimping. You're into shrimping?
Not that good. You didn't.
I totally
Never
thought you were
mind.
actually like into some legit form of shrimp. I hate
He's
that
not that
so
kind of
much.
shrimping.
Got him a
Hoss.
little. He's getting a little
Dale-
shrimp boat. He's just out there. I like them fried. I like them boiled. I like them
Old shrimp, fried shrimp, cocktail shrimp. Dale knows what I'm talking about. He's in the comments. He knows what I'm talking about on the shrimping side.
All right, Alex, finish your story, please.
No, I mean, so it's essentially, I mean, the story is that. I mean, I'm fishing,
You're shrimping.
and this dude, I'm shrimping. I'm fishing, and this dude comes screaming up the lake, and he goes to pull in this pocket, and there's a kayaker in the pocket, and there's another boat already in the pocket, and he screams, "Fuck you, kayaking motherfuckers!" I mean, that's what he screamed, as loud as he possibly could, loud enough that he was in that video. You can't really tell, but he was probably 200 yards away. And my DJI on my Hobie picked that guy up screaming. That's how loud he screamed. And I'm just like, okay, well, this is going to make me a lot of money on YouTube. And this is funny because this guy just made a jackass of himself. And like, but anyway, so here's where I piss everybody off. There's something about that, like state level, like regional tournament scene where you can win like, $10,000 that like those dudes are the cockiest assholes on planet Earth. Like they are insufferable humans. And like the thing is all it takes is like me looking at a list of the names of the people who were fishing in that tournament and like recognizing just a few of them to know like those are insufferable humans that you don't want to be around. And like that's that culture in that tournament scene. I don't know if it's just a Tennessee thing or if it's an everywhere thing, but like that, and it's like that 150 boat-ish tournament. They're big enough you can win some money. Wouldn't call it real money, but it's money. And it's like they're dicks. And so yeah, that's my to piss everybody off point. But anyway,
Yeah, I'll agree to an extent. It's either the guys that are the nicest, most genuine people, or you get the guys that think they're Jacob Wheeler already when no one knows their name.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's my thing.
It's like Andy Full,
I was gonna say, usually those guys that are like that are the ones that finish like dead last or in the bottom 10%. Like,
well, here's my
clear there.
here's my two experiences with boat tournaments in the past 3 years. I won one, and they kicked me out because they called me a semi-pro, and then I had a guy say, "Fuck you, kayak motherfuckers." That's my two experiences. There you go.
The semi-pro thing was that was
incredible.
comical.
Oh yeah, dude. I think I honestly I don't know if it's just a Tennessee thing. I don't know because I've never really.
You were on YouTube, right? They're like, because you're a YouTuber, we're kicking you out.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, no, actually, I asked that question. I said, "Is it because I have a YouTube channel?" And they said, "No, it's because you're a semi-pro." And I said, "Well, what's a semi-pro?" And they're like, "Well, it's because you've got a YouTube channel." And I was like, well, you just said it's because I didn't have a YouTube channel. And they were like, no, well, it's because you get paid to fish. And I'm like, okay, so that doesn't mean that you can't beat me. Like, I was like, I'm very beatable. Like, if anything, you'll probably beat my brakes off the rest of the year. I just got lucky and like stumbled into a 4-pounder when someone else stumbled into a 3.5. And it was just like, I don't know. That was a wild thing. And the dude who got mad about it was in $100,000 glitter rocket that he probably couldn't afford and got pissed because we beat him. So there you go. I mean, it's the same attitude, you know. I know one apple. I said in the video, I know one apple doesn't ruin the bunch. I know one egg doesn't ruin the dozen. But there's a culture, and it needs to be addressed. And like that kind of, because that wasn't the big deal. What happened later in the day, because I talked to a dude at the boat ramp that apparently he buzzed another dude by like 10 or 15 feet. Like he passed him by at full freaking speed in a kayak. So that's the part to me that was dangerous. Like that was, yell at me all you want to. I don't give a shit. But the running full speed past somebody, that's where it gets dangerous, because I said in the video, like, there's two things here, right? So the first one is, okay, if you're going to yell and scream and act like that, that can escalate quickly into something where somebody gets hurt. You know what I mean? And when I say gets hurt, we're in Tennessee. Everybody carries guns. If you come start jacking with me on the water when I'm in a plastic boat and you're in a big glitter rocket, like there's going to be something that happens there. You know what I mean? That's just a dangerous situation. The second one is, if you pass by somebody that fast, let's just say something goes wrong, because something can go wrong. And then you, your partner, and some dude in a kayak are dead like that because you're running 70 miles an hour in a 3,000-pound boat or a 2,000-pound boat. It's dangerous. So don't be that. Don't do that. Let's not act like that. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's go on with the night.
Well, let's also preface the fact that for the sensitive folk that might get mad that Alex said glitter rocket, he owns a glitter rocket.
Oh, yeah.
They're glitter rockets. I own one. They're glitter rockets.
Yeah. I own a 20-foot skeeter with $30,000 worth of electronics on it. Yeah, I own one, but I don't act like that. I don't talk about people like that. So,
and 30,000 polyflake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Let me tell you, mine's an extra glittery glitter rocket. That color scheme on that skeeter looks like a disco ball in the sunlight, and I love it. But I don't act like that. So don't be a dick in your glitter rocket. Just be a normal penis in your glitter rocket. Be a normal, flaccid, beige color penis in your glitter rocket and go on with your day. There you go. All right. Anyway, let's go.
You know, when you said that they disqualified you and then the guy told you to F off, right? I thought you were going to go it was the same guy. Like,
yeah, it's the same dude. I found out it's the same exact guy. No, the guy who got mad at me drives a Vexus. This dude was in a Phoenix. So there you go.
Got it.
So real fast, Devin Willis said, hell, they let Jason Christie fish a Wednesday nighter in New York. I will brag, the New York tournament scene, anybody sees one of the pros jumping in it and they're saying, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They want a piece of that. Yeah.
Anybody's beatable. Anybody at any
100%.
time. And anybody can win at any time. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I just find it humorous when tournament trails that are there for the competitiveness and you got guys trying to go pro that they won't allow pros to fish in that. When eventually you're going to have to deal with them anyways if you're going to try to go pro. I don't know. That's a whole
I feel like the two states that happens in a lot is Tennessee and like Alabama. Like in places, they're like,
there's something like that northern Alabama too, like Pickwick, Wilson, Wheeler. Those dudes, they're some of them are ripe. There's some of them dudes are ripe too. I don't know what it is, and they're usually in bullets. That's when you really know. Like, dude, if they drive a bullet and they're pulling it with like a '90s like OJ Simpson Chevy. Oh, dude, that dude,
that's a Ford Bronco, buddy.
That was a Ford, buddy.
Bronco, yeah, whatever. Like that boxy early '90s look. They're pulling like a '90s bullet with like a 300 racing motor on it. Good Lord, have mercy on your soul, because that dude is like, his ego enters the airspace before he walks into a region, not even a room. Like, that guy is just, yeah. But anyway,
and,
all right.
and that truck definitely has a different colored tailgate on it too. It's got a tailgate that had to go get from the junkyard.
Yeah,
one of the 4 quarter panels is a different color from the rest of the car.
It's got some
Yeah.
Bondo. It's got some Bondo on the doors at the bottom of the doors that's being repaired that they haven't painted in 2 years.
It's one or the other though. It's either like both are in perfect condition, just like the day they bought them, or it literally like it's hitting. It's not hitting on all cylinders on the boat in the truck's Bondo together. There's no in between. Like, yeah,
Got it.
All right, you boys want to get into some fish it, box it, or trash it? Alex, I know you've played before.
Yeah.
Paul, do you understand the concept of the game?
Box it part again. Explain the rules.
Okay, so
I put it in your rod locker.
Fish it, box it, or trash it is essentially for folks, guys. If you're listening and you have kids in the car, cover their ears for a second. It is fuck, marry, kill. So you gotta pick one that you're going to fish. You're gonna pick one that you're gonna box. You're gonna keep it for later, and then the other one is trash. You're gonna throw that out.
Okay,
that makes sense. So I'm gonna give you 3 different options. One you're gonna fish. That's like your top level. One you're gonna box. That's you're gonna keep for later, and then the last one is I'm getting rid of that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
Andy, I think we're gonna do all 4 of us are gonna get into this.
I like it.
We're gonna make this still spicy. We may or may not also have a rogue wedding Caleb joining tonight. I still don't know. So if he pops up, he pops up.
That's a new legendary creature.
Yes, that's right. It's like Sasquatch. We don't know when we're gonna see him.
Yeah, try.
Right.
One thing I'll say as we get into this, guys, this is going to create some really fun conversation, really fun topic points. The best comment and question is going to in a full Blackfish Gear Rage rain suit, full get up, bibs, and jacket tonight. So make sure you guys are firing in the comments because all 4 of us are going to be on the lookout for it. So
maybe put up a fish it, box it, or trash it too that we can choose from and talk about.
If you got one for us, throw in 3 different topics. You guys can see the theme as we go along here, but throw them out there.
Drop out and go be a commenter now.
Yeah, go. Yeah, get in there, boys. All right, so we're gonna. Some of these are fishing, some of them are not. So we'll start off basic here. We'll go frog, spook, or buzzbait. We'll start with you, Rudd.
I want to fish the frog all day long, every day. If it would work 365 days a year, that's what I'm going to do. I love it. It literally, I am a slut for a frog bite. Then I'm going to box the buzzbait because you always got to have a buzzbait in the box with me, even though I used to hate them. Yes, I know. Now I love them. I understand. I now understand how to use a buzzbait. So I'm, always got to be a lifelong learner. And then I guess trash the spook, even though I love all top waters equally. So that hurts my soul to say that, because I've caught some giant fish on a walking bait and all kinds of walking baits. But the frog bite and the buzzbait bite are the 2 that's like heroin. I've never done heroin, but I would guess that's what it's. And then the spook bite, it can be fun, but it's just not as good as a buzzbait and a frog. So that's what I'm going with there.
Have you caught a smallmouth on a spook yet?
Yeah.
That's like crack.
Dude, one of the best bites I ever got in my life, Norris Lake. It was in the spring. The water had just like tipped up over like 55, 56 degrees. And I thought, if I get one on this spook, it's gonna be a gosh dang giant. I throw it across this point. Chick. Dude, I'm talking Shamu. He hits it, comes completely out of the water with it, and is like shaking his head in midair with it, and then hits the water. It's like a 4-pounder.
Yeah.
One of the best spots I've ever got. But yeah, no, I love smallmouth on top water and spotted bass on top water. Literally is. If you don't like that, you need to go get your ticker checked because there's something wrong with you.
I had so much fun on Norman with that, dude. I stayed on 1 point for an hour and a half and caught him every cast on the top water. Granted, they were all 12 inches, but it was so much free.
Yeah. Spots like a 12-inch spot hits it like a 4-pounder. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Kill it. Yeah.
All right, Bubbles, you're up.
Golly, this is a hard one for me because 100% it would always be fishing a spook. I love a spook, look good walking bait, but this past year I got on a frog bite and it tingled my loins and it got me excited. But I look around here, the lakes I got around here, I'm gonna have to trash. I gotta trash the frog. We just don't have enough bites of it. It's about a month out of the year. I'm gonna go shit. What's the first one? I forgot already. I'm trying to do marry, fornicate, annihilate, and those aren't the words.
Annihilate.
I can't use those words on here. Fishing. All right. I'm fishing the spook. I'm fishing the hell out of it. I'm gonna make them bite it, and if they won't bite it, I'm still gonna try. I'm gonna.
There's a buzz bait too.
Yeah. I'm getting there. Damn, give me a second to answer the
You
question.
asked what they
Why
were.
is there such a rush?
You asked what they were.
I know, but I'm telling you, I was trying to remember
damn
the
it,
three
Bubbles.
buckets. I was trying to remember the 3 buckets that I had to say they were.
Yeah,
Well, you guys, you know, we got a little lutefisk dish here.
That is
And then the buzz bait. This last tournament I fished on the buzz bait. I didn't do shit all damn day, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go fish a buzz bait, see if we can hook into 3 more fish. I caught 2 more, couldn't get the 5th, but man, they absolutely killed that buzz bait, and I haven't fished buzz bait this year much, and when they did, it was something special. I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of that, but the spook is my baby. I love that. I always got one tied on. So I'm going to fish at. I'm going to have to put unfortunately around here I'm going to put that frog up in the box, tell it to go to sleep except for 3 or 4 weeks out the year, and then I'm going to fish that buzz bait. Man, that V-twin buzz bait.
It's the sauce.
V-twin, who makes that?
True South.
True South.
All
I'll tell you this though.
All right.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though. When you get a good fish that hits it and it tears it all to pieces, you better have 3 or 4 in the boat because they're hard to tune after they get.
Oh yeah,
they're hard to tune after they get a couple fish on them. They bend up pretty easy, but they're something awesome. They're special.
That Picasso, I like that Picasso, the rusty squeaker. That thing is the shittiest buzzbait ever made. It's horrible. It never runs right. It's the wire bends all to hell, but it has got a gaff of a hook in it, and there's something about the way that thing squeaks that it literally makes bass go stupid. Like they're just like, I gotta kill it, but it's like you can never get it tuned right.
Right here from Steve. He says he has to change the oil on the V-twin. That's awesome. That's a good one.
Oh, that's funny. They're not on Tackle Warehouse. Just spinnerbait.
I think they're in the process. We're trying to get them on Omnia too, but I think you got to go direct to the source.
Local North Carolina company out here out of the Lake Norman area.
Does hell of a job.
Yeah, their shit's good.
All right. I'm going to fish the buzzbait. I've been on a big buzzbait train this year. I'm going to box the frog. And I'm going to trash the spook.
Anyway, go on.
You can tell he's a damn.
I don't know. Of the 3 that requires the least effort to fish. I say that, but frog can be quite the effort wrenching them out of that crap. But
hey, Bailey, you talked about that buzzbait bite on Norman.
Tampon. Anyway, what? I mean, come on, Bailey. I got to call you out on that. It can be quite the work to get them out of that thick stuff, dude. I love you, but never say that around me again. That offended me.
What do you mean?
I like you say, oh my God, they're in the grass. Well, you got to get them out. Like, no, you hit them and you get them out of there and you get them in the boat. And you're like, look at it. Look at this. Look at the grass on it. It's awesome. That's what you do. Like, you don't, whatever. Oh, they're in the thick stuff. It can be such work. It ain't work.
I didn't say it like that. I said it can be.
Yeah, you did. That's the way it sounded to me.
Pound the gavel. Pound the gavel.
Don't ever talk to me like that again.
Now you got them all worked up. Good job.
I'm telling you. I have involuntary growls though. Like when they start biting in the grass, I'm done. I'm like, I literally turn it. Mentally something happens to me, and I start making noises and sounds and grunts. That I love it.
He goes, if Bailey hits him in the grass, he reels the kayak to the fish.
That's true too.
So much
Poor
work.
Bailey, he's down there. There's grass all over me. He's like, you son of a bitch.
Dude, there was one. My buddy Forrest and I were frog fishing like 2 weeks ago, and this shit was so freaking thick. Like when you hit one, you're doing the whole lean forward, like pulling them out.
Yeah.
I ended up I said screw it. And I looked at him like, we're going tuna fishing. I pretended like I was putting it in the holster, and I'm just reeling it in like it's a freaking tuna.
So he was pulling the kayak too.
I was pulling the kayak to the fish.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Well, not everybody has the thighs to be able to pull their kayak to a fish like
That's
Bailey
true.
does.
Highest ass in the game. Yeah.
I thought we were going to get through this show.
2 hours later, still on the first.
He's got a booty like 2000 J-Lo.
Oh, yeah. Highest ass in the game. I'm telling you, it's athleticism. Bailey, the day that I knew Bailey something was different about Bailey's lower half was the day we were at the Hobie Open on Chick, and he passes me going Mach 25, just pedaling his ass. I'm talking, I could hear them fins a slapping. No, I mean, here he goes, and I'm just like, what the hell? I'm pedaling my ass off. I'm like, wait for me, no. And here there he goes, and I was like, yep. I said that high ass did all of that. That's what that was. Pure athleticism. That is the peak of male performance, is him from the waist down. Everything up from there, I'm not too sure about, but from the waist down. Well, and then in the wiener region, I've heard it's very small, the smallest in the game. But
that's the edge. That's the edge, man. It's super small.
Very small.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna submit one of Bailey's YouTube videos to butt snorkelers. And if y'all don't know what that is, you need to go look at it, because he would be on one of their posts for sure.
What am I going to see if I Google butt snorkeler?
It's going to be one of the greatest days of your entire life.
I am very curious. I am very curious what butt snorkeler is.
Look him up on Instagram. Look him up on Instagram.
If we haven't warned anybody, this is probably not the show to watch for your children.
Butt snorkeler. Oh, butt snorkeler on Instagram. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Look, Bailey ain't owned a pair of shorts. His ass ain't ate when he's fishing. Every time he stands up, he's got a wedgie so far up there that you know he got a hole at the end of the day.
I got a DM from somebody, dude. I wish I could go find it, because this would win the rain suit. But I got a DM from somebody like a month ago that said, my wife and I made a drinking game of how many wedgies you pull out your YouTube video.
Shot.
Something like that. I don't know whether to be offended or think that's funny.
You can sell that on the internet.
Bailey, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you.
I don't know. Bailey's got more wedgies than anybody I've ever seen on
It's
YouTube.
funny. I was watching a video the other day of like Bailey and I, because I was going through clips, and we're both on the front deck of my boat. And I swear, I think we both pulled at the same time.
Wow, I love it.
Gosh,
I was like, oh man,
we haven't even made it through the first one of these.
peak athleticism. All right, I'll
Let
cut
her
to the
rip, man.
chase. Spook, I'm fishing just because of smallmouth and where I'm at. Tons of current, too much fun. I'm gonna box a frog and trash the buzzbait.
Hey, I got a quick question about fishing a spook with smallmouth. Do you fish the puppy? Do you fish the regular
biggest.
spook, super
Saltwater.
spook?
The biggest one.
And they can get it in there, huh?
Oh, they smoke.
No,
it.
they can get it in, boy.
Get it in there, trust me.
Half of them miss because they blow it like 5 feet out of the water.
yeah,
but
they do.
it's
That's
so
what she
fun.
said. She can get in there and they blow it 5 feet out of the water.
They do,
Here's your
man.
drinking game, folks. How many times can you say that's what she said on this episode?
That is what she said.
Oh gosh.
Smallmouth
Should've got
like,
a
get
precursor.
over here.
Get over.
Get over here.
When I film the intro for this on MP3, I'm gonna have to do a little precursor. Warn some people about this show.
This is R-rated.
This is a very not so serious episode. That is for damn sure.
The second half of this show, you need to watch yourself. Watch
Yeah.
your kids. Don't listen to this in public.
Not safe for work.
Yeah,
No.
not safe for work at all. But
Oh, gosh.
anyway,
All right, Andy. What's the second one we got?
All right, let's go. Rusty hooks, shitty rain gear, or no sunglasses on a sunny day.
oh,
Terrible.
those all sound like putting.
These-
That sounds like putting toothpicks under your toenails and kicking a wall. That is horrible.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, would you rather?
I highlighted that wrong.
Oh man, I gotta fish my sunglasses. I literally have got to the point with my sunglasses. I cannot walk outside without sunglasses on. I have the most sensitive eyes now
got
because
blue eyes.
Yeah,
Well, no, so this is the situation. You got to pick what's the least worst of the three.
I know.
You're
I know,
doing
right?
it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Wait, I'm
bro.
doing it wrong,
So you're
Yeah.
trashing those sunglasses on a sunny day.
huh? Okay,
So
I'm
like
confused.
this is three crappy scenarios. It's either you have to deal with rusty hooks, you have shitty rain gear, so you're gonna get soaked,
Mhm.
or you have to go fish in a sunny day without sunglasses.
I'm still confused. I thought the fish
right.
was the good one. The box it
Yeah,
was
the fishing, you're just gonna pick the less of the three evils.
Yeah.
Like which one would you rather
I'll go
do?
for you, Rod. Do you want me to go?
Okay, yeah,
here?
go because I want my glasses and I'll wet. And I've caught plenty of fish on rusty hook.
So trash the sunny day.
I'm gonna say my things, and I want you to categorize them for me because I don't understand this.
Okay. All right.
I want my sunglasses. I've been wet while fishing. That's what she said, and I've caught plenty of fish on rusty hooks. So there you go. That's
okay. So you're going to trash the no sunglasses on sunny day. That's what you're gonna do, and you're probably gonna fish the rusty hooks.
Oh yeah, I'll fish them rusty hooks.
All right, there you go.
That's what she said. All right, go on.
All right,
butt snorkeler.
Yeah,
I'm also gonna trash no sunglasses because I'm also blue-eyed and I can't see shit if I don't have sunglasses on. I am going to, you know what? I'm gonna fish the rain gear because when it's cold outside, there's nothing like a cold, wet pecker to ruin the day of fishing. And I'm gonna box the rusty hooks because I don't like to lose fish, not at all. And if it's because of a rusty hook, ain't nobody got time for that shit.
The dramatic pause.
He had to think about it. He's like, wait.
No, I don't sharpen hooks. If it ain't sharp enough, I get another one. I can't do that. Not at all. I don't want to be wet and cold. That's my whole thing. Don't be wet.
I'm also gonna trash the no sunglasses because there's nothing worse than that when it's sunny out and no sunglasses.
Then there, it's awful.
Headaches immediately.
Yes, the headache.
I will fish the shitty rain gear because I don't mind. It wouldn't be the first time I've fished in pouring rain without rain gear. And then I'll box the rusty hooks just because that drives me freaking crazy. OCD.
Oh, rusty.
Andy?
I do have to. There are some old Rapala shadow wraps that I have that have rusty hooks. That them damn hooks are the sharpest. You can't even breathe on without getting stuck. I don't know. I don't know what they did in the 1990s other than tetanus to make those things like that, but they are rusted all to hell. And literally, they're the sharpest hooks I have in the box. I got brand new Fusion 19s. Those things don't even touch them.
90s, them made in America hooks there.
That's right. There was some dude named Bill in Alabama was like, man, I'm going to make these things so gosh dang sharp. I ain't never going to lose a fish. All right. I'm sorry, Andy. Go on.
It's that Swedish engineering, right? Was Rapala from Sweden originally?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Bailey would have ripped his nose off with those hooks.
Oh, yeah. Full piercing. All right. I'm going to fish the shitty rain gear because I've been in plenty of situations where I just get soaked without it or old
that's
shitty rain gear, blow a hole in it, etc.
That's what she said.
Rusty hooks, I'm going to box. I'm going to trash the sunglasses no sunglasses on a sunny day. And yeah, that is what she said.
That is definitely what she said. Jesus, so many of them. All right, here's a fun one for you. Aaron Rodgers, Taylor Swift, or Jake Paul?
I mean, if Taylor Swift died in a plane crash, it wouldn't bother me. So whatever that one puts that one at. Jake Paul, they made more money than they know what to do with. I'm all right with them dudes, and Aaron Rodgers has done enough drugs for us all to have trips with him. So I don't know. I mean, so I guess I'm going to trash Taylor Swift. Is that what I'm doing?
Yep.
Trash her. Freaking mayonnaise music is what that is. White girl mayonnaise music. Her music is the equivalent of a mayonnaise sandwich.
Oh my God. I love mayonnaise sandwiches. You got to have an inch of mayonnaise though, at minimum.
Mayonnaise, cheese, and white bread?
No, just no cheese, just mayonnaise and white bread.
See, this is why UNC doesn't go anywhere in football because you guys eat like shit.
I haven't played there in 20-something years, Bailey.
And that's why they suck.
And listen,
you're a bad trendsetter.
The University of North Carolina is also a basketball school, not a football school. So let's just put that out there. Anyway, SEC, the chant rises from the depths of hell. So trash Taylor Swift, box Jake Paul, and I guess I'm gonna fish Aaron Rodgers. I'd like to hang out with that guy. So yeah, poverty. Listen, there's nothing like some government fees, a tomato you grew in your garden on some damn some Jiffy white bread or whatever the white bread. I don't know what the hell company makes it anymore. Who Miracle? No. Who made the white bread?
Miracle. Wonder Bread, Miracle. They all have it.
There you go. Yeah.
Or Bunny Bread.
Shake and bake.
Look, You never grew up poor if you only had one slice of meat on your sandwich and a half a piece of cheese.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't forget that spinach.
Government cheese with the square hands.
Oh yeah, Spam. That's when they came up with Spam. All right,
Spam's
Spam, yeah.
Spam's pretty good.
Spam is all right.
Sandwich.
All right, Paul.
All right. I'm going to marry Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna kill Jake Paul, and I'm gonna cohabitate with Taylor Swift.
You're not gonna annihilate
Taylor Swift? No, we're cohabitating. I'll put the baby in that.
Oh, dude, rough.
We're on a roll.
Violent.
And Travis Kelce can come see me because I'll take care of his ass too.
He cohabitated Travis Kelce.
I think we've turned this show into a Bass and Brews.
I can't remember the buckets that we're supposed to be putting them in, so I went, and this was a good one to go MFK on.
It's fish it, box it, or trash it.
Okay, I'm gonna fish Taylor Swift. I'm going to box.
That's what she said.
Actually, I can go shrimping
That
on
new bait
Taylor
from
Swift.
Savage Gear.
Go shrimping on Taylor Swift. I'm gonna box Aaron, and I'm gonna throw Jake Paul in the trash.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh gosh. Good. I'm also. Oh god, this is actually kind of tough. I'm gonna trash Taylor Swift as much as I hate Jake Paul too. So we're gonna put him in the box and lock him away forever, and we'll fish Aaron Rodgers. I can get.
Can we take 1 second and just address the fact that somebody got so mad at me about drinking Prime that they unsubscribed from my channel?
Yeah,
It's pretty good stuff. Not gonna lie.
They announced it too. I'm assuming.
They commented and said, I am unsubscribing because he said he drank Prime. Well, then I ran with it. I put it on my Instagram story. I went and got a bottle of Prime. I've drank a Prime in every damn video I've made since then. And I make a point to say, in this video, I'm drinking a lemonade Prime. Just because I know they don't pay me. I don't know any of them people over there at Prime. If you want to pay me, I'm here. I think that would be fun. Ice Pop's my favorite if you want to send me a pallet of those. Anyway, but like, yeah, the dude announced that, and I had my comment back was pretty good. It was list of stupid things that people get mad about on the internet. 600 or entry 652,633 drinking sports drinks. So anyway, I'm sorry, Andy. Go on. I interrupted you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna unfortunately have to fish Taylor Swift because my 5-year-old daughter has taken a fond liking to her music. Unfortunately, I think I might box Jake Paul because Prime is actually pretty decent. I want to watch him lose to Mike Tyson in a fight, and yeah, I'm gonna trash Aaron Rodgers because he's probably gonna blow his Achilles on the 5th play again.
Hey, real quick, speaking of Taylor Swift, in taking it back to the first question, have y'all ever do y'all think that she's shaped like a spook?
Do you mean is she shaped like a 12-year-old boy? Yes.
She's shaped like a spook. Like she's just a straight line.
She's just a
with
cylinder.
A couple hooks at the front, 2 little small like hooks at the front and a little hook at the back.
What kind of spook are you throwing with 2 hooks at the front?
Violent.
I mean, I'm trying to make a point here, and you're missing the whole point, man. I'm just saying.
I'm picking up on your point.
That's what she said.
She's a pencil bait.
She's a pencil popper. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what
chug
she
bug. Taylor Swift's
a chug bug.
He's a chug bug.
Here we go. As many curves as a head. That's awesome.
Yeah, there it is.
That's pretty good.
That's like he's front runner right now. That's pretty dang good, man.
Mayonnaise sandwich music and as many curves as a head. And Taylor Swift's new album, ladies and gentlemen.
He said what I was thinking.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty damn good. We're going to save that one. That one's definitely front runner right now.
As many curves as a head, and that is pretty good.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Magic Mike.
What?
Mega.
Stop bringing your dreams onto our show. All right, like
what are you sipping on there, Bubbles?
White Claw Surge. What else would I be drinking? Don't give me the gout
thing. Chris Flay says Taylor's a hula popper. Nah, she ain't a hula popper.
No, she's got
hula popper. That's Beyonce.
That's Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Or Bailey.
Oh,
Bailey. Yeah.
Just slipped it, Paul. Slipped it in.
All right, Andy, what's the next one?
All right, next one. We are going to go Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, or Roll Tide.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Roll Tide. I said,
How
little
you throw
backdoor,
a college team in?
little backdoor
Just
Alabama
because.
fan. Roll Tide.
Fan bases that everybody hates for the most part.
Let me tell you something. You go to Northern Alabama during football season, it ain't, hey, how you doing? It ain't,
Roll
how's your
Tide,
grandma?
War Eagle.
It ain't, fuck you. It's Roll Tide, son. I mean, I said Roll Tide. You know what I mean? So I got
Go
to fish.
War Eagle.
I got to fish Roll Tide because I'm a backdoor Alabama fan. Well, I was a backdoor Alabama fan. Now that Nick Saban's gone, screw Alabama again. I hate them. We did beat them. Just putting that out there. But yeah, screw Alabama again. But I am going to fish Alabama because it's the closest one to me, and I like Alabama. It's box the Dallas Cowboys, and what was the last one?
Chiefs.
Yeah, screw the Chiefs. Trash them. I'm so tired of them. I'm tired of the Kelseys. I'm tired of Patrick Mahomes. Everybody says I sound like Patrick Mahomes. I'm tired of hearing that.
Your
And
voice
so,
ain't
yeah.
high enough to be
Herman
Patrick
here.
Mahomes.
Yeah. Everybody literally go through the comment section of any of my videos. There will be at least 1 to 5 comments. It's like, is that Patrick Mahomes? It's like, no, I'm not Patrick Mahomes. Do I look like Patrick Mahomes? No. I don't
Do I
sound
look like I got
you should-
$500 million
you should
in my
firm
bank
your
account after each game?
exactly. Yeah.
Mahomes doesn't have a southern accent.
He's got a squeaky voice. He sounds like a rat that's
Hermit.
caught in a trap.
I mean, maybe if I talk like this, I'd sound like Patrick Mahomes, but no,
That's
I don't
pretty
sound
good,
like.
actually.
That was pretty good.
I've heard him talk enough. I know. Come on, guys. Where's the refs? Why are they on our side? We paid them all off. We need a flag on that play. Where's my wife? She's going to be a bitch to me. Anyway, go on. There it is.
Yeah,
My
there's
wife's
no
having
way.
sex with my
Here.
brother and he ain't shit.
What?
Anyway, go on.
You
Yeah,
have
Paul,
to know
your
more
turn.
about football to understand that one. So I'm fishing the Chiefs because winners are gonna win. I'm gonna throw.
Got a Swiftie and a Chief fan. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Get him off here. Never bring him back. A Swiftie and a Chiefs fan.
That's okay. I didn't. Nobody said anything about being a fucking fan. I'm answering the questions as they're given to me. I've only got 3 choices.
I don't know. You said you were putting a baby inside of Taylor Swift's.
That would be.
Oh God!
If
All
I
right,
wasn't
I'm
married.
sorry,
If I
Paul.
wasn't married.
I love you, Paul. I'm sorry. Go on.
Look, Bubbles is here for a reason. It's because you couldn't find nobody else. I'm going to box Alabama, and then the Dallas Cowboys. What's the last one? Oh,
Trash.
do away with. Trash.
Yeah.
I'm trashing the Cowboys. They ain't
Like
shit.
your shirt, Crusher. You're trashing them.
Yeah, I'm crushing their ass in the damn dumpster.
Probably like that. Cow.
That is what she said.
How
All
bad
right.
are you?
Them boys ain't
I'm
nothing.
trashing Dallas for sure as an Eagles fan.
You're not
I'm
Steelers
box-
fan?
What?
You're not Steelers fan?
I don't
Why would I
understand
be
why he's not a
Steelers?
Bills fan.
Yeah, I ask him that question all the time. But
All right. Well, okay. Let me put this to rest because I've gotten this DM before. I feel like we talked about it in the show before.
oh yeah,
So
multiple.
growing up, my dad was a big bandwagon. He liked a bunch of different teams. He followed quarterbacks throughout the league type of deal. Growing up, he liked the Eagles, so I'm gonna like Dad's team, but I'm not gonna be a bandwagon. So I became an Eagles fan from that point on. So I stuck with him. I wasn't gonna ditch the team. So that's how I got the Eagles. And then I'm also a Penguins hockey fan. So the Battle of PA doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But
Penguins.
yeah, I met Mario Lemieux when I was like 8 years old. So that
I'm
kinda-
going to tell you right now, you could put a gun to my head and you could ask me one rule in hockey. I get my brains blown out. I have no idea. I've never seen a hockey game. I have no idea how hockey works. I couldn't tell you a hockey team other than the Predators. And the only reason I know that is because they're in Nashville.
Alex, I'm taking you to an NHL playoff game this year.
Okay,
I
that's
think you would
fine.
actually enjoy it.
I will 100% go. I'm 100% down on it. I've just never done it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. I want
It's-
to take you to
it's
one.
an amazing time.
Well, then can we
It's an
do
amazing
this?
time.
I want you to come down here and do a UT game day with me, and we'll do the whole experience, and then you take me to a hockey game.
Yeah, deal.
Let's do it. All right.
Y'all do that and then come to a Carolina Hurricanes game here in Raleigh.
Well, that's what we can do. We can go to the Hurricane. That's an awesome experience they got.
The Hurricanes games are absolutely insane. They're one of the most insane hockey games that you'll go to.
One of the best atmospheres now for sure. Yep. If you want a nice, peaceful, quiet game with 10 other people, you can go to the Sabres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you
named after a sword.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, Bailey, speaking of the Eagles, though, they're going to do some shit this year.
Maybe if they might not choke again. We'll see.
They're going to be set up to do some shit this year.
They look good for now. So I'm definitely trashing Cowboys. Okay, screw them. I'm putting the Chiefs in the box, and then I'm lighting it on fire. And so I'm gonna fish and go with Roll Tide. I'm a Justin Hamner fan, so I guess I can get down with Alabama.
They're gonna suck this year, I hope.
Me too.
I mean, yeah, it's NIL thing is shaking up everything, to be honest.
Well, and the new coach, what's his name from Washington? I just don't know how that translates to Alabama and the SEC. It's going to be very interesting to see because I'm convinced without a shadow of a doubt, Georgia would have put an absolute ass whooping on them in the national championship. Mm. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how that translates. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think
he's
go ahead.
3 years because he's got to rotate through all of Saban's players. So in 3 years, that's when you're going to see what kind of coach he really is from a recruiting aspect. Got to give him 3 years because that's going to see can he get the players in there and coach them up
at that rate. It's not going to be him. It's going to be up to the alumni, the boosters, the town. How much cash are you going to throw at these athletes?
Good, pay them.
Marvin Harrison, dude. Paid. He said going to the NFL, he's taking a pay cut.
Mm-hmm. That's like Nico, our quarterback. $9 million deal if he makes it all the way to his senior, or if he plays all the way to his senior year. That kid is going to go into the NFL richer than he could quit. He could literally play to his senior year and quit and ride off with his money. $9.5 million. It's crazy.
Or he breaks his leg the last game of his college season and can never play football again. And now he's got
but then he's got $9 million. And if you got somebody that can help you invest, smart, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You can do a lot talk about the NIL here because y'all gonna get me up on a soapbox that Alex Rudd can't even slide down.
That is what she said. All right, Andy.
Lube it up, slide it in. Hell,
I'm fishing Roll Tide. I'm gonna box the Chiefs because actually growing up, I wasn't a bandwagon fan, but I used to love watching the 49ers and the Chiefs play early 2000s, Trent Greens and Priest Holmes and Tony Gonzalez and Jeff Garcia of the 49ers and T.O. and Jerry Rice. Those are some of the most influential times on me in football. So I'm going to take the Chiefs in the box and I'm going to trash the Cowboys because nobody likes the Cowboys except for Cowboys fans. So,
amen.
Their cheerleaders are even overrated.
Dude, okay, I got something to tell y'all about the damn Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Do you watch the show?
No, okay. Every time I turn my TV on, I have no idea why it's on there. It's okay, so I've got a Samsung, and I guess Samsungs have channels on them if it's connected to the internet. Every time I turn on my TV, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders are on my TV, and it is on an endless 24/7 loop. It's the only show that they show on this channel, and I literally like every episode of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader show ever. And so at any given time, it'll either look like it was filmed on a potato in 2001, or it'll be like a brand new episode that just came out, and it is the craziest every single time I turn the TV. It's the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
And they're just like teachers. They got to work 4 jobs to even be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Yeah, it's wild.
Insane. Good times.
I see what you're into, Alex. It's all right.
That's right. You remember that? That's what she said.
Yeah. You sound like an old person talking about their algorithm on TikTok. Well, it's got a bunch of
listen,
girls.
I could walk up there and hit the home button. Bethany can vouch for me on this. I could walk up there and hit the home button. Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
So it's like Bethany's watching a bunch of TV you don't know about.
No, she watches that schmut on Netflix. I'll walk in there and it's like, I don't even know, Fuck Island or some shit. on an island out screwing each other. And it's just like, I like walking down there. I'm like, what is this? And she's like, well, an AI talks to them through text messages and something about social media. And then they got to choose who they love. And then everybody's just making out and having sex. I don't know. It's schmut is what it is.
So like that Marriage is Blind or whatever that show is on.
Love is Blind. Yeah.
Love is Blind. Yeah.
That episode of Love is Blind too.
Look,
yeah.
if y'all want to go back and watch some really good, like, TV from back in the day, the 2011 to 2014 Real Housewives of New Jersey was one of the greatest shows that have ever been invented.
Put it up over The Sopranos.
I mean, possibly. They did as much fighting.
They did as much. There's a bunch of killing in there too.
Unfortunately, they didn't get that far, but it was close.
They're close. Yeah, they're close.
Good.
All right, let's get through some of these. We got next one is barbecue, Chinese food, or Mexican.
That's hard.
I'm fishing.
This is easy.
I am fishing Mexican. I love me some Mexican food. Mexican food is life. I'm gonna box the barbecue because I can't have my barbecue too far away from me at any given time because I do love me some barbecue too. And unfortunately, I'm gonna trash Chinese food because it depends. There's really good Chinese food and then there's crap Chinese food. There's no in between. Like you either get the best Chinese food you've ever had or you get something that tastes like it was made in a cardboard box. And so, yeah, that's mine on there. But Mexican food is life.
I'm with that.
What's your Mexican order, Rod?
Oh, I kind of mix it up, but I do judge a lot of Mexican restaurants off their chili Colorado. Like if you got good chili Colorado, then you're a good place in my mind. The local Mexican place to me is called El Gente. The stuff they just opened it not too long ago. It's massive portions. Like the portions are really.
That's how you know you got real Mexican food is when you come in the plate is as big as your chest.
Yes. So like me and Bethany will go down there and order double fajitas. And honest to God, it is like 4 pounds of meat and vegetables. And you get like the side plate with all the, like rice, beans, and all the garnish and all that stuff. But yeah, no, El Gente. And it's like $20. That's the best part. You go down there and eat for $20 and it's awesome. So yeah. Love me some.
That's that culture, man. They just load you the hell up.
That's right. That's right. They want you to eat. I'm all about eating. I didn't get this fat by not eating. Anyway.
All right, Paul.
I love a good dang quesadilla, but I'm going to have to trash the Mexican food.
Oh, God.
And I say this because I grew up on Peach Farm, so I grew up eating.
Yes, Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Give it to me.
So that was in San Diego for Cinco de Mayo.
See, that makes
it ruined
sense,
me
though.
for Mexican food.
Yeah,
ruined
exactly. That's the point I'm going to make about Mexican food. I grew up on a peach farm, so I got to grow up eating like real Mexican food, not the restaurant Mexican food. I am going to have to fish barbecue I'm from the Carolinas, and when it comes to pork and barbecue, it don't get no better than down
your
here in
barbecue
the
rub is some of the best that I've ever used, by the way. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. It makes my heart feel good. I'll need to send you some more.
Only thing he's telling you to make you feel good today.
That's right.
I know.
Right. Yeah,
I know.
Beard dust.
Since he shit all on Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Well, you want to put a baby in.
Well, she's my girlfriend. She never knew I had that we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Sad.
What?
Anyway,
Are you good? How many white claws you had, bro?
And I'm gonna box Chinese food. I tell you, I love some good Chinese food. So we're gonna put it in a box for later because there's nothing like good takeout Chinese food in a box,
especially leftover.
I'm telling you, man. Give me some General Tso chicken. And if they cook that shit right, it's crunchy when you get it out hot, and it's crunchy, and it's crunchy when you get it next day.
That's it.
I love your pronunciations of things.
It's General Tso. That's how you pronounce it.
It's General Tso.
No. Bitch, there ain't no W at the end of
silent,
it.
All right.
I knew General Tso. All right. Me, General
Tso
used to blaze that shit up every single day. He didn't care if it was so or Sal. All right. He just went with whatever it was. Anyway.
I bet y'all pronounce the L in salmon.
So you pronounce the L in quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
It's quesadilla.
Eat the
But the L in salmon is silent. You don't. Your buddy's name is Sal. You call him Sal, and if his last name is Mon, it's Mun. Sal Mun.
We need to go to a legit Mexican restaurant, and you order a quesadilla and see what they do.
I'll order it Mexican.
Quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
Can I get some queso?
Quasi-dillas.
I want some. I want one of them quesadillas with some jalapenos on the top, please.
Can I get a glass of tequila?
Hey, speaking of true Mexican, if y'all go to a real Mexican restaurant, you're going to get a little bowl of pickled radishes and yellow onions.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever go to a Mexican restaurant where you get a little bowl of pickled purple onions and radishes, and they're going to give you a bowl of limes on the sides, you know you're in the right place right there.
I went to a place.
Get you some linguine, which is cow tongue.
Yeah.
It'd be the best taco or zabata you've ever eaten.
I went to a Mexican place in Texas. Same exact way. Walk in, pickled radishes, pickled onions. It was awesome. The whole nine. I got tacos El Pastor, dude. It was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, this is delicious.
From Sam that says, "There's a lot you don't know about your grandma Napoleon."
Look, Napoleon's grandma was a freak. I know she didn't have a lot to do in that movie, but you know damn well she was.
Oh, she was a freak.
Pulling some string. She's pulling some string.
Just so I'm on the same page, we're talking about Beer Fest, right?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, I've watched Napoleon Dynamite once. I won't.
You're
even
kidding me.
Kick his ass out like you did me, Bailey. Kick his
no,
ass
I kicked your ass out, Paul.
Sorry, Andy.
I hit my head because I was hot.
No, but no, you know, like Beer Fest is like, oh, Gam is a whore. And she's like slapping the sausage. That's where I thought we were going with it.
I will say this: Beer Fest is a better movie than Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah,
and I've seen Beer Fest probably a dozen times. So like,
yeah.
I'm not going to shoot you.
And that is what she said. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Another one.
And another one.
Shoot. I'm gonna fish Mexican for sure. If we put in sushi, this would make this thing a lot harder. But I'm gonna.
You made the damn questions.
I know.
If we did this,
Sushi's Japanese though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's racist. Don't say things like that.
I'm gonna box barbecue and trash Chinese food.
I can't believe
real barbecue though. Real barbecue, like that Texas or Carolina barbecue.
Texas is not barbecue. Carolina's barbecue.
Easy now. There ain't nobody cooking beef like a Texan.
Yeah, but brisket. That's it's barbecue, but it's not like barbecue. Ribs, pulled pork, chicken.
You're gonna get some hate mail after this.
That's fine. I don't care. Screw them.
Listen, it can't be no worse than him telling people they weren't professional anglers if they cut grass.
Here I am.
I love
Justin Hamner don't got to worry about that no more. That's all I'm saying. The winner has a name, ladies and gentlemen.
You put him in the right direction.
That's right. Yeah, that some bitch is rich now. He don't got. I don't know if he's rich, but he's got a lot more money he did before. So roll tide, amen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love how he says that all the time too. It's roll tide,
roll tide.
All right, Andy.
All right, I'm fishing Mexican. I just love it. Barbecue, gonna box it. I can always get down with some good barbecue. Now, if Chinese food was replaced with like Thai cuisine, that would be tough for me because I absolutely love me some like chicken pad Thai. It's like one of my favorite meals ever. So I have to trash Chinese food. Love me some Thai food. Oh yeah.
Do y'all have good Mexican food up in New York?
Oh yeah.
Up in the Buffalo area?
Yeah, we got good. There's like, I think by my house, there's 7 different Mexican restaurants. Oh yeah. Fiesta Bamba is the good one.
Fiesta Bamba.
Yes.
There's this new place.
Aguacates.
There's this new place called Tequila though. That's right down the road from me. That's legit.
It's just called Tequila.
Literally just tequila.
Really?
And I looked at my wife. I'm like, we're gonna go try it. This could go one of two ways. It's either gonna be really good or really bad.
Or we're
leaving drunk.
Yeah.
So, the old house I used to live in before Amanda and I moved together, we used to have Man Mondays, and there was a Mexican restaurant down the road, and I can't remember what it was called at the moment, on Union Road. And we'd go there, and they had $5 pitcher margaritas, and basically like dinner plates the size of your chest. Like we're all like this after we're like, oh, this is terrible.
Was it the margaritas on the rocks too? Or a little bit
more. You could get
it
frozen or on the rocks. $5.
Always get the rocks.
Pitchers.
Always get the rocks.
Oh yeah, all about the rocks.
Can y'all roll your R's? Make machine gun noises. You know, ask your wife to make machine gun noises.
Keep doing the bubbles. No, that's freaking Fast and Furious. That's a car. That's not a machine gun.
No shit. Have you ever? No, man. Look, have you ever been around a Gatling gun? It sounds like a chainsaw going off. It's the most amazing sound in the world, unless you're on the other end of the bullets.
It's like, bzzz,
I know,
dude. It's awesome. Yeah,
but when I was a wildland firefighter, we used to have to do downrange fire suppression when they were shooting the Gatling gun out of the helicopter. And it was one of the most fun times I've ever had fighting fire.
What the hell?
That is what she said. But anyway, ask your wives. Ask your wives to make machine gun noises. They can't do it.
Why?
It's a man.
I don't know. They can't do it. Women can't make machine gun noises. It's the damnedest thing I've seen. I asked Bethany to make machine gun noises. She's like, and it's like, come over here. I'm like, no, it's like, and she's like, okay. I'm like, nope, that's not right.
I'm not. Alex, don't ever make that noise again. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Like from the Catalina wine mixer.
Wine mixer. Play the drums still.
You did it in international waters. They couldn't prosecute.
The other night after we put the kids to bed, I asked my wife to make a. Never mind. Go ahead, Andy.
That's what she said.
Go ahead, Andy.
Wait, what am I doing?
I think he finished. That's
I already went.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I think before our last one here, we should announce the winner for the Blackfish Gear Rage suit. Are we all in agreement that Mega Mickey, the as many kills as ahead?
100%. Yeah. Go Magic Mike.
Magic Mike.
Look,
I'm just Mega Mickey. If you're still on here, get in touch with us. Down in the show notes, there is an email or social media. And send us a message. We'll get that sucker sent out to you, pal. So get in touch, and we'll get size everything. See which one you want. But
look, I'm colorblind. That shit looks like Magic Mike to me.
Chill out, Bubbles.
Oh god, dyslexic and colorblind. God bless him.
Yeah. All right, Andy. Last one.
All right, we got Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, or Dwayne Johnson.
Easy. Fish Joe Rogan, 100%. I'd love to fish with that man. Gonna box Elon Musk because I'm still not sure that he's not an alien, and then just trash Dwayne Johnson because, yeah, he did. I like the guy. I mean, it's cool. I'd like to fish his pond sometimes, but outside of that, I'm tired of his face.
Do you see he posted a video with the Bassmaster magazine?
Here's the deal. I didn't. That's cool though. Here's the deal. Dwayne Johnson in the 90s when he was a wrestler, like, I ain't talking about no chocolate pie. I'm talking about poontang pie. That
when
was
he had hair.
Yeah, that was peak Dwayne Johnson. When he wore the gold necklace with the turtlenecks, peak Dwayne Johnson. Peak. Like, that man was my hero. But now he's just like, now he's just overused superstar in my opinion. But, I still like him. I like him. Don't get me wrong. It's just not what it used to be.
I don't know how a man like that has, like, same with Rogan. Well, I guess all freaking three of them. How do they even have any sort of time to breathe in the day?
Because they're rich and they do whatever they want to do. Because when you can make your own schedule, you can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because every appearance they're making money doing it anyway. So,
like you got to think about Joe Rogan's life. Joe Rogan, his entire existence, work out and stay in shape, make podcasts, and show up to UFC events that he wants to show up to. Because like he picks the ones and smoke pot and do drugs. Like literally, that's it. Like he picks the UFC fights he wants to go to. It's not like Dana calls him because you're going to be here on this day. He goes, nah, I want to go commentate this fight in Milwaukee or wherever it's at that evening. And he goes there and he does it because he enjoys it.
Yeah, and he's doing stand-up again.
Well, and he does it he owns his own club. So, I mean, that's, more money. And then plus he just goes and hangs out with his buddies at his club that he owns. I mean, it would be like you owning a place and like you just go whenever you want freely. It's just you do whatever. Like that's how they do that. Now, Dwayne Johnson, I'm not sure because that dude really is like him. And then Elon does how he does because he literally like doesn't have a house and lives on factory grounds. Like he's a workaholic. He's an obsessive. Like he has autism, so it's like his superpower is working really hard. He's like he's super obsessive about working.
That's insane.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. What you got?
I am trashing Elon Musk because he deserves it. And then I'm cleaning up the dog shit out the house when the dog poops in it. I'm throwing it on top of him in the trash can. And then I am going to take Joe Rogan. I'm going to throw him in the box and then smack him across the face, lock it, and run. And then
lock it and run. That's enough of that.
You kick me out with that? Jeez, I've been kicked out more on this podcast than I have on Bass and Brews, and that's saying something. And then I'm going fishing with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I'm going
to jump on his back and put him in a headlock and see how long it takes him to reel in a 10-pounder in one of his little ponds that he's got out there.
Won't take him very long. He's just going to throw you.
I don't know, man. I'm wiry. I'm a fat wire. I'm like a 2-gauge wire.
Sam
around just hard to unwrap.
Sam Axe hit it out of the park with his little comment there. That's why I lost it for Dwayne, because of stuff like that. That's when I lost it for Dwayne. Like, that's it. Yeah. I just want him to go back to Poo-Tang pie, not chocolate pie, and suplexing people. That's what I need. That's all I need out of him. That's all I need from him.
I'm with that. I'm for sure fishing Rogan. I'll box Elon as well. That he's probably one of the most interesting men alive. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to trash The Rock.
The Rock's gonna
I wish Rogan would run.
And when he sees y'all in person, he's gonna. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? And
no, he won't, because he doesn't
drive your ass down into the ground.
If he did that, I would cry of nostalgia. I would love it. I would let him give me the people's elbow.
That's what he's gonna rock bottom you right in the middle of the ring and then give you the people's elbow.
But make sure you're recording it though, so you can post it on the YouTube.
That's right. Now
while drinking a prime.
Motherfuckers!
Yeah. Would you guys see Elon's talking about joining Trump in his cabinet?
To do what?
I don't know. Be a part of like some sort of his presidency. I don't know what exactly it would be, but that's what they were talking about.
Put RFK as the whatever the
oh yeah, RFK's talking about dropping out and also endorsing Trump. So it's just like, oh boy,
go boys,
go
again. Roll Tide,
roll tide.
And that is what she said.
What do you think would happen if Rogan went and tried to be president?
He never would.
Well, I know he never would, but what do you think the perception would be? Like, do you think
in a hypothetical world? I think he would be I think he would get a lot of attention. I think he would get a lot of votes.
I'm with that.
Yeah. He's an interesting cat. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. I watched 2 of his ones with Shane Gillis today because I needed a laugh.
Dude, Shane Gillis is legendary.
It's amazing.
Shane Gillis's Trump is out of this world. He's
incredible.
more Trump than Trump is. Like, he's just amazing.
And Justin from the Serious Angler crew says Elon can be the alien ambassador.
Perfect. He's gonna be head of Space Force.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Andy, wrap us up.
All right, I'm trashing Dwayne Johnson, even though he's like a childhood hero growing up watching WWE. I think I'm going to box Joe Rogan because I don't listen to him enough. I probably should listen to him more. I just think Elon Musk is just out of this world interesting, the ways he thinks. And I think we could use more people like him, just not as crazy.
No, it's the crazy that makes him, buddy.
Yeah, it's fair. And maybe he is the real alien, like what are his child's names like?
Oh yeah, they're like Z942 or something like that. Wild.
Just call me Bob.
Just call me Bob. It's easier. Yeah.
Dad, Dave will work just fine. Just give me a normal freaking name.
I mean, Elon does really look like Edward Scissorhands in the face.
A little bit. A little white. He's a little pasty.
Yeah, that man ain't seen a drop of sun a day in his life.
Was he on Rogan's where he tried smoking for the first time?
Yeah, he tried smoking pot and the internet exploded because of it. Yeah.
It's incredible. Well, gents, I appreciate you joining for this edition of Fish It, Box It, Trash It, and the show in itself. Thanks for keeping it trashy. This is not so serious segment.
Anytime.
I had hope when it was you and Caleb, but I knew when we needed to pull in Paul that it was all downhill from there.
Well,
I got that text message. Glory. I knew for sure you were struggling to have somebody on.
Well, see, here's my thing. So Caleb had to run, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, who would be around last minute that would just say yes? And I'm like, Paul's always in. It's either him or John King. One of the two. Those are always our saviors.
And I was like, I asked Paul, and I was like, oh, you might as well just get John King on too. Like,
we were going extreme tonight, but not that extreme.
Yeah, he would have showed up in like a banana hammock or something.
No, he hasn't got undressed on a podcast in a couple years now,
and that's sad.
Not since ours.
It's very sad.
Yeah,
Rod, you better have him on.
His episode drops this Friday for us. He was on as a guest co-host, and I did not invite anybody. He did all the inviting, so it was. I had no idea what was going to happen until we started.
How was it?
It actually was pretty good. He ended up having BTC, Paul Benson, Jeremiah, and then Uncle Frank on.
Jeez, that's a crew.
It was a crew.
Motley crew,
good time.
Crew.
He did not disappoint. I was really worried that he was just going to show up butt ass naked. Really, I thought that was going to happen.
You know, he's probably listening to this, and now he's like, next time these MFers invite me on, I'm showing up in a suit and tie.
Yeah, high and tight.
There's nothing like him showing up on Alex Rudd's podcast that time in the dark, and all you could see was his teeth.
And what he said was violent. Do not listen to that one in public. You will scar your children and the elderly.
That dude's one of a kind.
I was supposed to go fishing with him Thursday, but I double booked myself, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do that.
I feel like he's like one of the fishing industry's like Easter eggs. Like he's just
like a Jack in the Box. You just don't know what you're gonna get.
I'm not even going to give him. He's not the fishing industries. Screw that. John is him. He is himself unto himself. Like he's an existence outside that shit show. All right. John is his own thing. And I'm not even going to let the fishing industry have him because John needs to be separate from all that.
He belongs in a different industry that we won't even name on here.
Bailey, he's the Easter egg. He's the Easter egg that the kid finds 3 months at the church after Easter and cracks it open. That's the Easter egg he is.
He is if the fishing industry did DMT with Joe Rogan. That's what John King is. Like if they finally just like let loose and was like blasted themselves into another reality, that's what John King is to the fishing industry. All right.
We're going to get some hate text from John on this one.
Nah, he's going to.
This was all good. This is the nicest thing anybody said about John King on the internet.
No, he's going to be mad that we didn't invite him to this.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Well, that's pretty damn good. Come here, Garmin.
Come here, Garmin. Then you need to adopt one and name him. What is it? Winged Flute, and be like, "Come here. You're not as good, but you're still here. Come here. Come here."
I try to copy you,
little redheaded stepchild. Come here.
Funny. Well, fellas, I appreciate both of you greatly. Thank you for taking the time to join this shit show. And folks, I don't think you were getting anything serious out of tonight's Serious Angler episode, but appreciate everybody that tuned in too. And Mega Mickey, make sure you reach out for that Blackfish Gear Rage suit. What in the world is going on? What was that?
It's Paul.
No more.
What is
it's
that
the
from?
Yodeler. It's the Yodeler. West Virginia Yodeler.
Oh, no, I never heard of that. Well, either way, gents, I'm about to fall asleep sitting here. So I appreciate you guys for tuning into the show. And we'll talk to all you gents here soon.
Bye.
Hello.
Bye.
Bye.